We're starting off high.
So we can get
I
a
think
two fools agree on that one. Oh, by the way, look, we got the wide shot.
There was you had accountability. Now what I can
Now all you need is a podcast and a YouTube channel.
no, not even.
Where give me the money. Show me the money.
Apparently there's a Foolproof page.
Shoot the J. Shoot it. Live on Facebook.com/Foolproof Entertainment Network. I need you on Twitter. I need you to repost the Facebook pages.
To raise a human before I would
Trust human to raise back wolves.
before I would trust a pack of humans to raise a wolf.
Right. I hear you. Yo, welcome back to Do Fools Agree, episode, what did we say, 22?
22.
Episode 22. I'm here as always with my main man, Cliff Jennings. Cliff, how you doing tonight, bud?
I'm all right. I survived another week.
All right.
How about you?
I mean, I got through it. We started football this week, started coaching again, so that's been good.
Interesting.
So I'm going to hit on that probably a little bit, things that are a little different here in Corona life.
Right.
But,
we have a guest in the building.
Yeah, who's this dude over here?
This guy over here. This is the man that made me. This is my pops.
Oh, so he's the one
father.
we can blame.
Yes. He's the one the world should blame.
Well, good shit.
How's your week been going, Pops?
It's not doing too bad. I had a pretty good time. I had some little chaos, but other than that, I'm doing pretty good.
Hey,
good.
That's the world right now.
Right.
Chaos.
I mean, if it's just a little bit of chaos right now, we happy, right?
That's 2020.
2020 is crazy.
Listen.
They wilding out here, Cliff.
You let that Dave Chappelle, boy.
They wilding.
Well,
especially after I watched the full thing at 8:46.
You know what?
Did you finally see the full thing?
I didn't.
Come on, man.
I didn't.
Come on.
You know why though? Because my YouTube, I don't have the app on my phone. I go through the site.
Why don't you have the app on your phone? What century are you living in?
Well, my phone is full, so I see
Oh.
now. I'm
So you got room for World Star, but not for YouTube.
Right. That is a news. That's a reliable news network.
Uh-oh.
I can't miss
It's
that.
reliable. It's
Oh,
reliable.
it's reliable.
I don't know
It's
about all that.
Video evidence.
I don't know about all that.
Now you may not want to trust the title.
Fair enough. It's clickbait.
Video evidence. But
What you got, man? Any inadvertent thoughts this week?
I do have an inadvertent thought. I guess it's
What
more
hit
of
me?
a statement, a confession. I don't know. So since there hasn't been any recent Corona porn updates, I have had more time on my hands.
Okay. More time on your hands?
On my hands.
Is that a
But
he said better than your knees. Throwing in the zinger. The zinger from left field.
But I started to indulge finally in cartoons. I'm not a big cartoon guy.
Yeah, we've had this conversation. Anytime I bring up animated movies and shit, you do nothing but give me grief. So what cartoons are you watching?
Listen, first off, I didn't even do recess, okay? I don't play, all right? So I don't
But
do...
I gotta admit this. You know, I've been watching Netflix a little bit there, and I kind of got this thing for F is for family.
I've heard good things.
Bill Burr.
Because it kind of, you know,
I
some
love
things
Bill
in
Burr.
life.
He's one of them.
It relates to what happens in life.
That's one of them that I have been watching. I have
I
seen
do like
that.
F is for family.
It's not my number one. My number one. Listen,
Well, you got
number one-
Hulu, so is it Rick and Morty?
It is. Listen, it's funny you say that because what I will say is that's on here. I want to apologize to some people because I made fun of a lot of people.
Rarity alert.
I made
now.
fun of a lot of people out there about Rick and Morty. Like when they was like, I watched like Rick and Morty. Like,
Get the fuck out.
right. But listen, I watched it, and that's pretty. It's pretty gangster.
It can be.
They take it there. They do
can
take
be.
it there, and I was like, oh, so this is real. Like,
Do all the memes that you've seen make sense now?
definitely
Where it's like, fuck it, I'm in.
right, right. Or the one where he's pulling down the wall. He said,
Right.
He said, this isn't even real. This isn't real. This is a simulation. But yeah, no, that one's a good one. But no, my number one, I would say it's made by my second favorite man in this world. I'll give you the number one. Does anybody have any guesses?
I don't know. After you talked well about the Orville, I'm wondering if it's something Seth MacFarlane did.
No.
All right.
No, this is my second favorite guy. I guess I shouldn't say second. We'll say top 5.
I was about to say, two of the top 2 should be right
Listen, listen. His name is Mike. Is that a hint?
No. There's a lot of
Mike
Mikes.
Tyson, Iron Mike
Oh,
Tyson.
okay.
Man,
All right.
is that his cartoon?
I don't think I've seen
Mike
that.
Tyson
that's,
Mysteries?
Mike Tyson Mysteries.
Oh
yes.
my gosh.
Yes.
It is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
He got the pigeon and dog.
Yes. He has Norm McDonald's in it.
Yes.
Really?
Norm McDonald is in the show.
What is this on? Is this?
It's on Hulu. I watch it.
Okay.
I watched it on, and it throws my mind because I used to wonder what it meant. I watched it on Adult Swim.
Okay, so it's a Cartoon Network
But
Adult
see,
Swim.
the thing is, I used to wonder why they called it Adult Swim. It didn't make no sense. So when I looked it up, it said Adult Swim is based upon the fact that when we go swimming in the pools, they tell all the kids it's time to come out, and now it's adult swimming.
Okay, that makes sense. That
So,
makes sense.
so basically, what they're saying is,
It's time for
what
the
I
kids to
read
go to
is,
bed.
It's like, okay,
Right.
put your kids in the bed.
Right,
We
right.
about to get raunchy. We
Okay.
about to get real
All right.
All
We about to
right,
get
all
it
right.
on. Okay.
That makes
Listen.
sense.
I like that Mike Tyson though.
I haven't seen that. I'm gonna have to catch an episode
It
or two.
is hilarious.
All right.
Like hilarious. I know I had to be laughing so loud that the neighbors were like, "What the fuck is he over there watching?" Because I mean, it was at I'm like insomniac, so it's like 2 a.m. and I'm flipping through Hulu, I'm laughing my ass off, and I know the viewers know how
Right.
I perfected my laugh, and I know this is wrong to say, but I perfected my laugh to make people feel small when I'm laughing at them. So it's very loud and aha-ish, you know what I mean?
Yep. No, I got you.
So that's why it's loud, and the neighbors were probably like, "What was?" But
Speaking of Mike Tyson, did you see the pics of Jamie Foxx that came out this week?
Oh,
No.
He's playing Mike Tyson's story.
In a biopic. Yep. Biopic.
that's a great. Listen, I'm glad you brought that up because I don't know that anybody can top Ray. And the only person that I think can top Ray would be Jamie Foxx.
So I give you that on as far as like Ray concerned, but I don't see Jamie Foxx
As Mike Tyson?
But
I think that's a flop.
I think that might surprise you, though.
I think he might surprise you too.
I
Just
haven't
because
seen-
he did Ray, right?
But he's a good actor. You know, I give you that good actor, but you still talking about Jamie Foxx sing. Jamie Foxx is a comedian, but I can't see Jamie Foxx.
True.
I bite your baby head off.
I think he could get there. I think he could get there. I think it depends on how he comes, like what kind of shape he comes in.
That's why I was asking if you've seen the pictures.
But on top of that, I'd like to see if you're going to start that out somebody young. You bring it home with somebody new. Bring it in the beginning of somebody new.
Somebody's early in
but
their
at
career.
the end of it, Mike Tyson is hilarious, and Mike Tyson can play himself.
That's true.
Right.
And they should have him
Right.
do that.
So you know what?
Because
That's
it's
the
not
first
like
Right.
he's busy.
The first movie where
That's
actual actor, the actual person himself is bringing it on home.
right.
Yeah.
He
That,
can
no,
put the
that.
final touch, and he's already had acting experience. Granted, it wasn't like.
I mean,
I mean,
he's
it
not
wasn't
bad
nothing,
though.
but-
He's not
But
bad.
at the same time, it's not like a Ray where dude's already dead, right?
Right.
Or
Yes, yes.
was almost dead by the time the movie hit, or by the time they were filming the movie.
Let me look up the picture.
I'm telling you, man. Jamie Foxx looks swole.
He did a good Ray. He got the facial features.
He got the mannerisms, like the shaking and the
touching himself,
right?
All that.
Exactly.
Like, I don't think that anybody has portrayed the person as well as he did Ray. Like, don't get me wrong. I liked, and this is to your point. I felt the same way about Will Smith when they did Ali.
True. Nobody thought Will Smith should be Ali either.
He did it though. He did do it, and I was pretty surprised. That's one of my favorite Will movies.
Yeah.
But I'm not really a fan. But
no, I get it.
He did do it. He did definitely do it.
All right, we got a couple of chats coming in. We got Malcolm calling you out, Cliff, for being a fool. And letting us know that you laugh like a nerd.
Tell my son shut up before I start laughing.
And then the Rita is just giving us some audio feedback, so I'm trying to adjust levels a little bit over here.
Oh, are we
just
low and high?
Your dad's a little low, but I think I can adjust.
I'm a little low? Okay.
Just on the volume on the mic.
Oh,
so it's mostly shit that I can tweak around with over here.
Yeah, I think he could do it.
Did you find the pic?
Yeah, I see him trying. Yeah, I see him trying. I think he could do it, though. I think he would be a good mic.
I think it'll be interesting.
That's just him as himself. Once they do him up, I think
you know what? Really, you could freak that really well.
Who would you pick?
No, I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm just thinking of now. Jamie Foxx, do the beginning. Get a kid first, and Jamie Foxx do the middle, and then you get like Jaleel White. Wasn't that the karate guy who did him the first time in the Mike Tyson movie? Michael Jai White. Let Michael Jai White do the middle, and let Tyson bring it home.
Oh no, you're doing too much now.
But if you know what, it would just freak it out. It just like.
I hear you. And then first of all, when was Mike Tyson ever little? Even as a child, he was Mike Tyson.
Even at 14, 15, he was huge.
Like,
so basically Jamie Foxx saying, I'm about to do some steroids or some human growth hormones.
I mean, that's what
I'm about to turn into Sylvester Stallone.
He juiced.
Right. But how would you do that?
I mean, who else could do it? LL. If LL got back in shape.
No.
Problem is, he's probably just as old as Mike.
He's just
as
old as Mike Tyson.
Right.
He's not getting it.
And he's too pretty. He's not a rugged looking dude. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
He's
he
not
looks rugged in any given Sunday.
No, he looked like LL, like smooth face LL. Even when he has that little beard, he's still smooth face LL.
All right.
Think in too deep.
But L can't make a movie without that. L can't move. He don't like to really show the bald head. He's scared to just show the bald head.
I don't know. Now that he's got, have you seen him recently though? Since he's gotten older.
Who, LL Cool J?
Yeah, he got some of the wrinkles coming in. I think he could pull it off. But to the point of
he can't play the young Tyson.
Mike, why not just have Mike do it at that point?
Mike do it.
Right.
Goodness gracious. All right, so I got one.
You got an inadvertent?
Yeah, so I've been seeing all this shit all over Facebook or whatever, and change.org petitions and this shit. And I'm sure you know what I'm about to bring up is the one I posted earlier today.
That blew my wig back.
They're talking about there is a petition out there right now because of all the everything that's going on and them wanting to take down Columbus statues and all that kind of stuff to change the name of Columbus to Flavor Town. Legit, there are petitions out there with thousands of signatures that say change the name of Columbus, Ohio to Flavortown, Ohio.
I feel like
and I'm sorry. If you're going to change the name of Ohio, Relm already gave it to us 11 years ago, 12 years ago. Buckeye City, man.
I mean, I wouldn't mind Buckeye City. I feel like Flavortown. I feel like you're almost trying to sin. Like
right, exactly.
Like you're trying, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
no doubt.
No
doubt.
I don't know of any black folks that would,
would sign up for Flavortown.
Yeah, let's name it Flavortown.
I mean, the gays might though.
Flavortown, Ohio.
The gays might like it.
Could be.
Jason, can we get you to?
Right.
Jay just chimed in. He said, "Yes, Flavortown."
No.
Flavortown.
He can't tell Jay that y'all can name Short North that. Leave Columbus to.
Which is why I'm like Buckeye
That's
City. If you want it, if legit, and you know, I'm not one of those people pushing to like change names and tear that stuff down. But like, if you wanted to change the name of Columbus, Buckeye City.
Oh wait,
Buckeye
are they
City,
saying
Ohio.
they want to change the name of Columbus because of Christopher?
Yes.
See, I'm not. I don't understand that. I'm not feeling that. I don't
I
understand.
just-
I'm with
the
you.
logic
I'm
in
with
that. I'm
you.
not feeling that. You know what? Okay, take the statue down. But I honestly feel I'm 100% behind what everybody's doing. I stand for the same rights. You know, you know what? I'm gonna go deeper than that. I'm gonna say, um, I'm gonna go real deep here. Let's go in this one. I'm gonna answer this one for me. I mean, the people that are calling other people immigrants, the people that are calling other people illegal aliens. What about the fact that the Indians already had this little spot here, and we come over, let's get you high, let's get you drunk, and we got science behind our backs, we got bullets, let's blow you away, and we take your land. So my point is, how do you say that you didn't deserve a green card, and how can you tell other people they don't have a green card? You need to get out of here because it's our America. But yet it actually belonged to the Indians, and I can't really think of. You got Spanish, you got the Spaniards, you got the blacks, everything, but yet you don't really hear like a big major culture of Indians.
Right.
And I think actually you're starting to see a little more of that pop into the mainstream discussion around it right now, and how indigenous peoples is usually how they're referring to them these days.
Because you get to lump them all
because
like black.
Well, that's the whole thing.
Black could be African, Jamaican, African American. It could be Haitian. Like
so, it's funny because on our trip from last week around things they don't teach in school and should.
Right.
I was doing. I watched a documentary on COINTELPRO. So that's the FBI's counterintelligence program that targeted
the Panthers.
Panthers. They targeted people in the Puerto Rican independence movement. They targeted Native Americans. They targeted the Hispanic populations. Like anybody who was a leader of a social justice movement fell to COINTELPRO pretty much in the 60s, 70s.
Right.
And so that was actually eye-opening to me because I was like, all right, I don't know what all groups were involved or what all groups were targeted as part of this. But watching, and this was a documentary, I think from like the early 90s.
Where'd you watch it?
Amazon Prime has it free.
Okay, I got that.
So if you look up, I think it's like Education 101, COINTELPRO.
Okay, I'm going to have to check it out.
And so, obviously, they're giving all the background in terms of how the FBI like targeted and labeled people. They had this thing called an agitator index. And people like Fred Hampton were top of the index. People that were unifying other groups or unifying multiple minority groups obviously rose to the top of the index. And those were the people that were either straight up taken out or were arrested or they found a way to basically discredit them.
Right.
And so, when we talk about this kind of stuff, this is what we're talking about. Like, I'm with obviously the Black Lives Matter movement and them being the voice right now, but it's not just them.
Right.
It's not.
Right.
It's just, I think, even when you compare it to Hispanics and Native Americans, there's not that many of them to have the same kind of numbers that you see with Black Americans.
I got you.
So
but
from
most
that
Black
perspective,
Americans have a lot of Indian in them as well.
They have we have a mixture of everything. And the bad part on that topic, I was going to say something else, but on that same topic, the worst part about it is we talk about racism, but what about the blacks hating regular blacks? There's African Americans, there's Africans that have come to the United States now that tell us that we're not African Americans because of the fact that we didn't come from Africa, or we're not the true blacks. So I actually work with a lot of Africans, and I'm not being discriminative or anything, but I'm saying the question is, why do they have to also put us in a category? It seems like blacks have been attacking blacks so long that even the new blacks coming over attack the old blacks for being here.
Well, just because that's what's been incentivized by the system.
Yes, that's by design. That's why I hate when people always bring up the black on black crime thing, because that's a part of the issue.
That's part of the narrative.
That's the narrative. That's what we're trying to change now. We can't do it all at once, and that's the thing. Everybody expects black folks to do everything at once. They have to protest. They have to stop rioters.
Right.
They have to protect people there that, like, come on now, it's not.
And they've got to work with the established system that is oppressing them to change it.
Like that's
Cliff, let me know when y'all figured that out, all right?
Right, you know what I mean? Like, but for real though, like that, and then what you said, like, That's absolutely correct. A lot of white folks, y'all, you can trace y'all's names back to Ellis Island and all that. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, motherfuckers can roll out that script and show y'all who actually came over on the boat, and we can start saying, go back to y'all's own fucking country. If that's how people want to play.
I've seen some of those recently,
that's
too.
ignorant. That's the most ignorant thing I've ever heard in my life.
Right.
So everybody just go, leave.
And then the Native Americans get all their shit back.
And then all the 5,000 Native Americans are here with everything.
All right, so we got a couple of things coming in. Malcolm's still talking shit on you. Cliff and FB. He ain't perfect, no laugh. He just got Muggsy Bogues syndrome.
Oh shit! Okay, I got you.
Obviously, we hit Jay earlier with the Yaz Flavortown. He said, "I'm here for Flavortown. I'll bring all the fabulous flavor." Thanks, Jay.
Right.
He said, "Better yet, Flamertown."
Now you're going too far, son. Flavortown was too far, and you've exceeded.
Jason letting him know he's silly, and then Malcolm letting him know Jason's silly, and then Jay come back with racism happening on stolen land.
You can't read that transcript all episode. That's gonna be the
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm sure that'll settle down a little bit. Mm-hmm. You know, I like doing that though, because I like the kind of back and forth that we get with the audience. Right. So, and that's if we can get to that point. Malcolm talking shit about you. That's true.
That's gonna be all goddamn episode.
Oh goodness!
Tell him shut the fuck up before I come back and piss on your mama's papa's eye chair. Again.
Oh, damn.
I'm not gonna bring her into this. I love you. Not Miss King anymore. I don't know her last name anymore.
Goodness. So what do you want to get into? Or you got any inadvertent thoughts? Anything popped into your head this week?
The thing about me is, I'm a little old school, so I'm trying to get in. So like I said, it's my first time coming. So my thing is, I need to get the feel. Get a feel for
the rhythm of the conversation.
So I want everybody to come back. But my thing is like this. There was a movie. They're writing a movie. I can't remember the actor that she wrote a movie, but it said she wrote a nightmare about marriage. If you look it up, you'll see it. The woman said she told her husband to write a nightmare about marriage.
Like a what?
It said write a nightmare about marriage. It was one of the actors, and they wrote she said write a nightmare. It was on today's YouTube, all the day internet stuff today. But my question is this: if you're really gonna write about like the situation, this is what blows my mind. When I think about stuff like that, I think about the women of today, who, like me and Cliff was talking about this about a week ago. We were talking about the simple fact that women of today have not become women of the day. They're actually becoming the men of the day, and men are starting to become the women of the day. The problem with that situation that I'm trying to come with it is like this: the women took away with the women things, like you opening the doors for me, help me in and out the car. They become so hard that the man looks at a woman today, a lot of women today, and not gonna say a lot. I'm gonna say some women of the day, and you say, are you the man or the woman? It's become so to the point that a man doesn't know his place. And the thing is, women of the day become so hard that they come on to men as if they're like they are men.
They're the aggressor.
But then as soon as a man steps up, and I don't support jumping on a woman. My thing is, but as soon as a man gets his feelings hurt because you treat him like a woman, and he is a man, he knows he's a man, but he's trying to show you love, then you want to act like you a man, but then you want to act like a woman when he starts acting like a man.
Right.
But by that time, he's in jail.
It's the moral masculinity. We talked about it
we talked about it a little bit last week, and I think when you look at that, it's the same way women have taken on new and changing roles, and some of the gender stereotypes around that. Men are being asked to do more, and I think where we're struggling right now is, and I've had this conversation with my wife. Like, my natural position is a protector and a provider.
Right.
Exactly.
That's it.
And you're asking me to help with feelings and everything else, and I'm like,
that
I can work on that, but understand that's not my natural propensity.
Right. Exactly. Like a lot of those feelings that you feel, we don't feel those. We just don't feel them. So
like that's why I say when you're telling me about, oh, what do you think so and so is thinking about this situation? I'm like, it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, it doesn't change my view on it.
Right.
And I understand that like it's hurting your feelings or you're worried about your feelings on this, but at the end of the day, what it is what it is, and nothing you do is going to change it. So you learn to accept it and move on, or be pissed off about it. But at the same time, I don't know what else to say beyond that because that's how I approach pretty much everything.
Right.
Exactly.
Like.
Exactly.
Well, listen, I'll just say, touch on what I said last week for the people that didn't hear. When you have, and there's a common ground. Now, there's a difference between masculinity and toxic masculinity. I do agree.
Yes,
I agree.
Yes, I agree.
I've seen the difference. I've experienced the difference. I've been both.
Right.
So I know the difference between the two. But when you war on a man being masculine, like I said, when you need a man to show up, he's like, "Oh wait, is this my time?" It's almost like you've taken a bear and put it in the zoo and then released it out into the wild and expected it to fend for itself the way it would have in the beginning.
It's funny.
No, you're changing me, and now I don't know if I should be a bear or should I be.
It's funny that you put it that way because I read something a while back. And I don't remember what it was. It was probably after watching like some fucking might have been after seeing like Greatest Showman or something stupid like that, right?
What's that?
Circus.
It's a circus
musical
thing here,
something.
Yeah, there's a little circus
Anyways,
movie.
it's Hugh Jackman's in it.
Is Hugh Jackman the dude from American Pie?
Hugh Jackman is the dude who plays Wolverine in the X-Men.
Okay, no, I don't.
And he had that one dude with the little muscles that played on the Disney Channel.
Yeah,
that was his sidekick. I don't know what his name. I don't watch them little shows.
I can't remember.
But you know what I'm talking about? The dude with the gut that played with Neighbors. The one that the college
Zac
dude.
Efron.
Yes. Zac
Efron.
That's him.
Yeah.
Anyways, this had nothing to do with Greatest Showman. It's just I think that's what triggered it originally was they were talking about how baby elephants are held in place by a simple chain and a wooden stake about two foot long.
Right, they don't know that they.
And you pound it. They pound it in the ground, and a baby elephant can't get out. When they're adults,
right,
they still think that they can't pull it out the ground when they damn well can.
Yes.
But they've been conditioned their whole lives to believe they can't, and so they don't.
Right.
And I think that's what you're seeing with kind of what you're saying here, Cliff, around
your
masculinity. You're conditioning us
the natural
against it.
instinct we have.
Bingo.
And then listen, I mean, but that's
so it's a confusing thing. That's what I was trying to get in the first place. It's so confusing that men don't know what to do to be a man, and women don't know what a real man is.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day.
So at the end of the day, you're a punk if you don't defend me.
Right.
But if I defend you, you're an asshole.
Right.
If I defend you
didn't have to do that.
You didn't have to do that.
You ain't
but
have
if
to
I don't
hit him
defend
upside
you,
the head.
you're an asshole. So really, my hands are stuck in my pocket, and I don't know which way to move. But then if I don't move, I'm a pussy.
Mm-hmm. Listen, right.
And they'll hold it over you like that too.
Yes.
I'm gonna just start carrying around Vaseline and say, "Oh, is it fight time? Handle your business. You want me to hold your earrings? Handle your business. This is what you wanted, right? Do what you want to do. I'll watch. I'll clap.
Get him, baby.
Right.
No. Here we go. This is even better when it bothers me the most.
All right.
Why is it that women say that they don't want a man? They're lesbians. But the woman they date looks more like a man than the last boyfriend. Or the gay dude says, I don't like a man, I don't like a woman, but you want to look like a woman or be a woman. So I understand that for the one who wants to receive. But if you're gonna hang in the lesbian club, you should be in the lesbian club.
Hey, chime in.
I mean, the gay club. I'm sorry.
I think it's really they just don't want to get pregnant.
I could open Skype and see if Jay.
You don't want kids.
I think they just don't want to get. I just think they don't want to get pregnant. That's what I always thought about. At least that started as a joke, but for lesbian women, like girls, they usually start at a very young age, and that's because you don't want to take the risk of having sex with a man and getting pregnant at that young age. So I feel more comfortable dealing with a girl who cannot get me pregnant than dealing with a man, and it ends up making history to the point that it's like, well, I've done it this long, I've never had a real dick, might as well stay with it. That is a lot of people, and they end up switching back over at a later date.
You got a point, but you know what I was teaching. I don't
know about men.
I did some youth. I used to do some youth conversations and some moldings, and there was a group of little girls that told me actually they are still virgins, but they give their buttholes away. You can bang me in the butt all you want. We having sex through the butt all day long, but I can't have a baby, and you have still not broke my cervix or whatever it's called that keeps them, to make
Right.
the virgin.
So
my bottom line is, they're they banging out. They banging out every day.
You know,
and working it out,
job, right?
But yet at the same point, they say they still virgins. But you ask him, hey,
I'm sorry.
You ask him, say, how does a girl who got a butthole worked out fart? How's it sound? And they say, exactly, I don't know, because you blew everything out, so it just come out like air. But yet you still saying
it's just a whistle.
Yeah. But you still saying I'm a virgin. He been making me out with 13 inches, but I'm still a virgin. But it is what it is. It is
Oh,
what it is.
man.
I don't understand. It is what it is.
All right. So we got a couple coming in
that's
here.
Hilarious.
We got the Rita coming in with don't you know guys can't win. So I think she's identifying with the plight.
Okay, I understand.
You got Jay coming in. I love to play devil's advocate and offer a different perspective. So the question is, what exactly defines a real man? So Malcolm comes in, says good point, and Jay asks, is it a matter of opinion? It's a matter of opinion, facts, personal experiences.
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
That is a very good question.
And you know what? You got enough time to answer that question because you can give all kinds of different opinions.
That's right.
Because a real man, in some cases, to some women, what was his name again?
Jason.
Okay, Jason. To some women, they want a hardcore man. So, you think like, okay, he goes to work, he takes care of his bills, he takes care of our home, he gives me protection. That's a man. But then to another woman, let's go back to, he can lift my legs up and pound me a new hole and run some new plumbing. That's a man. So I don't know which way you going with that. So if you're saying, I want to, for the woman who says, I want sex, or the one I want for security.
This is where we've gotten though. It's the funny thing about it because we're in the catch-20. we're in the catch-22.
Yeah. What I say? I don't know.
Wait. So we got Malcolm saying, "Hey, Mike Brown sitting here looking silly." What he said? What's up? And then Jason said, "Oh, I love me some 13 inches." Oh shit! Adding him to the podcast was a great idea. We should keep him on retainer.
That's my guy. But I lost my train of thought there.
We're talking about what defines a man.
Oh yeah, no, it's a catch-22 because so back in the day in school where they did the circles, the relation circles,
Venn diagram.
Yes.
Is that what that is?
It's a Venn diagram.
Okay,
right?
so that's where we are currently, but
they didn't teach that in black schools.
The thing is, only the overlap, in my opinion, are the ones that can truly answer that question.
So wait, what do you mean? What are your big two circles? Are you saying like?
So I'm saying like three, because you have your delusional people, like you said, you have your people that were raised like baby elephants with the post in the ground.
Yes, who believe
they don't know what a real man or woman is, for that matter. And then you have your delusionals that assume it is a certain thing, and a best way to put that is how you see lesbians, like how he was saying, like the stud lesbians do their best to attempt to portray what they think a man is, but it's always kind of a caricature of a man. You know what I mean? It's not really. It's an over exaggeration of a man. It's not exactly.
I hear you.
Hold up, time out on that, because you know what? If I'm a lesbian, I want a Kim Kardashian. I don't want a Dennis Rodman.
That's what I would think.
I don't want Dennis Rodman. I want Kim Kardashian.
Exactly.
And you know what's better yet?
If I was gay, I would think I would want a man.
Hey, you know what?
You know what I mean?
Like
not
a
like
dude.
a woman. That's not what you would be gay for,
Right.
right? You know what I mean?
Right. And now I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna take you off the subject a little bit. Have y'all seen, what's her name? Khloe?
Kardashian.
No, not Khloe. What's the girl's name? Sophia Richie. Have you seen her in her bathing suit outfit? If you want to, if you really want to see the imprint of, like they say, the camel toe. You want to see the camel toe? The real reason of a camel toe. Look at his name, Sophia Richie. Sophia Richie. Sophia Richie has the fattest vagina I have ever seen. And if you want to see a piece of fruit in a girl's panties, Sophia Richie. Look up.
I'm gonna write that one
Richie.
down. You gotta write
Sophia
that one down.
Richie.
No.
And your boy left, not the other Kardashian, for Sophia. He went up a notch. He went up a notch. He might not have went up a notch in the. He might not have went up a notch in the behind,
No.
but for the peach,
No,
camel toe,
let me,
he went up.
So just to make sure I'm following, though, the point of that statement was saying that is if you were a lesbian.
If I'm a lesbian and if I'm a lesbian
right.
and I want to lick vagina, I don't want a woman who looks like she got a King Kong 13-inch.
Right. Well, that makes perfect
You don't have a 13-inch. You don't have a 13-inch.
That makes perfect sense.
I want a vagina, which I don't understand why you have a lesbian and you want a dildo. You say you want to lick vagina. Don't deprive the man. If you wanna give it away and you wanna feel something inside it, go back to your ex-boyfriend. Give it to him. Don't give it to the new girl who wants to lick on it. Let her lick it. Let him stick it. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say.
That's why bisexuals are doing it right.
So just before I get this out, because I know, Jay, you asked that good question, I want to provide you with well, I want to bullshit your answer, because I can't give you that answer because, as you stated, it is somewhat opinion. But like I said, you got what we talked about. We got the baby elephants, we got the delusionals, and then currently we're adding more and more circles to the bunch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's trans man to woman, trans woman to man, this to that. You know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying.
So where they overlap is where you have people that understand the multitude of the situation.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? And those are the ones that I feel like can answer
what a real man is.
Exactly, because you're seeing it from all perspectives. Now you're talking to two very similar people here.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we would probably lean more towards the masculine. So our definition of a real woman most likely wouldn't match one of the introverted, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's going to be completely different.
Yeah.
So it's beyond a matter of opinion. I think we've lost everything, you know what I mean?
Well,
like
and you know,
like we're far from that old schematic. That's done. You
oh,
know
we're
what
definitely
I mean?
far from it. I think
So we can't pick and choose is what I'm saying. We can't launch into the future and then pick what we like about the past. You know what I mean? That's not how it works. If we're going to the future, you leave your past behind.
Right.
If you're bringing along baggage, you're fucking up the trip. And that's what we're in right now. You're trying to launch into a new age, into the future, but we're still dealing with the same shit from 1865?
no doubt. I think
And you think it's going to work?
I think when it comes to sexuality and gender identity, though, I think that we as a culture have come far enough along that it's not the black and white anymore.
Right.
It's 1,000 shades of gray, right?
Right.
And that's really where, it's interesting because Jason's chiming in here that Rhett could say the same thing about him. He's not a married manly guy, and Rhett identifies as gay. So therefore, based on how we're using the term "real man," it wouldn't make sense for him to be with somebody like Jason.
Well, no.
So that's where, but that's what I'm saying is I think it all depends on your perspective and what you're looking for. To your point around, we are getting to a point where it feels like we are losing that identity as the hunter gatherer, right?
Right,
the hunter protector,
Right.
And some of that's just a change in society, but I think by nature, I think most heterosexual men feel that that's still a big part of their nature.
You know what? That's
when you start looking at the spectrum of sexuality and identity, that's where you start getting like, okay, well, they have these feminine traits, these masculine traits,
Well,
and
wait.
that's where it's not as clear cut as it once was.
And I agree.
And to your point around, when we are looking to move forward, I don't think, like, I still see it as a spectrum, right?
Right.
You, like, this is the ultra and maybe almost toxic masculine man,
Right.
and here is the the pure female femininity over here.
Right.
And instead of us being on either end of the spectrum, the way our politics have gone, I feel like we're filling in a lot more of the middle
Right.
now than what we used to.
Right.
Whereas politics has done the exact fucking opposite thing.
Right.
You are either, conservative or you're liberal, and really, like, our liberal parties are really pretty far in the middle. Like, you actually don't have all the way on the left anymore.
Right. Well, that's what I'm getting at. See, to say what Jason was saying about his comment is, just because we're saying that we've strayed from masculinity isn't to say
that anybody's wrong.
Isn't to say that you. It's not to say that he even wanted a real man.
True.
You know what I mean? And I'm not saying anything about him or Brett. I'm just saying, just because we're saying that there's a war on real men, we're not saying that you want us.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're just saying that we're.
But that also
here
doesn't
as well.
mean that
So,
also
like,
doesn't mean that we shouldn't exist either.
Exactly. So you said everything's
Exactly.
becoming more gray. That doesn't mean that black and white still don't exist.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Right.
you can't then try to crucify anyone that falls on either side of that realm.
Well, and it's funny you say that in terms of black and white there too. Why do you think there's been such a snapback of white supremacy right now? Because they're afraid that they are disappearing and losing influence. That's
Exactly.
the only reason you've seen the rise, the
But I
rise in terms
understand.
of the
Let's
loud.
be honest. But honestly, they are. Honestly, they are. It's not going to be 10 more years before everybody's gray.
Well, it's
Every mixed kids, that's all you see.
It's-
And if somebody is pure black or pure white, you're looking like, oh, you're a grandparent.
it's 5 generations. It's 4 to 5 generations. I wouldn't say 10 years.
Well,
But it's another
whatever
4 or 5 generations, and you're right. And they've been saying that since we were kids.
Right.
That at some point everybody's going to be mixed, and you're not going to be able to tell.
But we're
anymore.
talking to people. But we're talking about people that are still rocking Confederate flag. You're on the
True.
losing side, bro.
Right.
You're on the losing side. You always have been.
Right.
You always have been. Win
That is a
for,
loser's
listen,
flag.
Win for once. Just win for once and step on the right side of history. Just
You know
one
what? It's
time.
a fear, though. It's a fear. You gotta understand something. The ones that are very intelligent realize that that's the thing we don't understand. The ones who are very intelligent realize the same things that happen to the Indians. They're afraid it's going to happen to them.
Absolutely, and they should be.
And that's the thing. We're not looking at the whole picture. And my thing is
It's
this:
not.
the whole thing.
It's
The whole
not.
thing.
It's not gonna.
No,
We're not gonna do.
no,
Nobody would ever.
no.
do
It's
them.
not going to happen. But you know what? People
That's
think
the fear. That's the
the
inert fear.
But see, the thing is, this whole Black Lives Matters. My thing is, I'm 100% behind it. But my question is this:
I'm glad y'all said that.
where does it? What are we looking for? Where does it end? I mean, I agree that it should be changed. I agree. I stand behind all the situations and how people it's wrong, and I hate it. But my thing is, where do we end it at? How far are we trying to take it? I mean, because you know what? In a minute, if we don't put it like we don't come together as a conversation wise. The ones that you just talked about, the I don't know what they called the Ku Klux Klan back in the day, but now what they call it today.
Oh, the
They're
KKK is still a
coming.
very big.
They're
presence.
fighting. They're fighting. So why do we have to have this race war when we can talk this out in peace? But again, I gotta understand. If we could talk it out in peace, we'll be where we at.
The
today.
problem is
Listen, hold on. Before
Go
we
ahead.
go there, because I'm glad that you said that. Hold up, real quick. Go ahead. Because I'm trying to articulate that. Go ahead.
No, I was saying it all comes back to fear. I mean, honestly, once you are afraid, the general ability to have a rational conversation is gone.
It's gone.
When you're driven
gone.
by emotion,
It's gone.
and that's something that, and I'll give him props for this because he is excelled at it. That's what Trump does fucking very well.
Yes.
Is he does not negotiate on facts. He does not debate logic. He debates emotion, and he is
Exactly.
preaching to the fear of
Right.
Was
lower
everyone-
class whites who are being kept down not by black men, not by Hispanics, Not by Native Americans. They're being kept down by the same fucking people they're voting for.
Right.
Fucking idiots.
Right.
But my thought came back. So it's funny that you said that they think it would happen to them, and it makes me think that you speak and think things into existence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because nobody's worried about that right now. But
No,
what
but,
you're doing is you're riling everybody up to the point that it's like, are we going to have to go at it?
Right.
And then you're going to end up in an inevitable race war that could have been avoided because no one's thinking like that. You're causing them to.
Yeah. No, because
no one's ever warred against the Ku Klux Klan other than the North and the South.
That's why, though, that they've said that Trump is the most divisive president and the worst president for where we're at right now.
Exactly.
Because he has no interest in having a dialogue. He is stoking the flames every chance he gets.
Hey, listen, you already know I am. I may be an extremist or it's happening the way it's supposed to. It's happening the exact way it's supposed to.
Either we're going to find a way out of this and to rise above it, or you're right, we collapse and we go to war.
I'm the kind of guy that wants to open the closet door.
Right.
Listen, if it's a monster in the closet, I need to see it. We got to face it. But I'm damn sure not about to lay in the bed with my head under the covers. Because that's not going to get anything done either.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
So if it has to come to a boil and we see if the pot runneth over, then let's see if the pot runneth over. But
the pot will run over because it's just like a relationship. Now, maybe I'm wrong, so help me out here. It's like a relationship. If I dated you for 10, 20, 30 years and you were like perfect, and then all of a sudden something changed, I'm a little curious. As long as I'm curious, I might ruffle feathers. I might do some things that's crazy. But then as soon as I realize that you cheated on me for real, I'm pissed. So now, basically, we played this role like you wanted. Now we're thinking like, oh, okay, now the United States, you cheated on me. Now everybody's like, well, I'm done with this. You're not going to keep doing this to me. So it's kind of like the same situation.
Well, that analogy works for white people.
True,
the black people,
exactly.
For black
but that's
people,
where I was going with it.
Black people, we watched you cheat.
Hold on, but see, this is my point.
We have to take it. It's like the abusive wife.
But this is my point.
You make the money, I have to stay with you.
Okay, but it's my point is this. When I was saying that is, I'm saying it in the aspect of, if you cheated on me and I forgive you, did you forgive me? I cheated on you. I fucked over you, but now did you forgive me? So my point is, where does it stop? So therefore, if the white race now says, okay, I'm gonna give in to the black race now, I'm gonna give you what you want, then the black race says, okay, I'm starting to see that I'm gaining, I want more and more and more. So then, therefore, they're saying, okay, well, I gave in to you this, I gave you that. We took the police, we beating up the police. The police got to be good. Everybody got to be good. We're giving to you, and then now that you've seen that you're starting to gain, do you say, okay, I want more? Well, so where does it stop? My point is, where does it stop?
At 50%.
What are we? I'm 100%. Yeah, 50%.
Or we take it.
But how do we see it?
And that's.
It stops at 50. I'm wanting more.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm trying to go for. I'm trying to see on both sides of the fence.
I completely.
Because I don't want it. Because is so the Indians lost their land to the whites. Now the blacks are trying to take the land from the whites, and it's a constant.
I don't know. I think that's a ill way to look at it.
I'm just wondering. I'm throwing
like
scenarios. What I'm saying is, where do we get the common ground?
Well, and that's the thing is, and that's where I think I quoted this video last week or 2 weeks ago. The video I saw that it was like, white America should be thankful that blacks are looking for justice and equality
and not revenge. Right, and we haven't for this long.
Never.
So understand that we're not going to in the future either, and you can choose to make it equal,
right,
or you can turn the heat up on that pot and see how fast
and see how long it takes to boil over.
Because it's just that simple. If you're worried about it now, that's because there's an issue. That's because if enough people rose up, it would be a problem.
Right.
So it's best you address it before it is a problem.
I think the interesting thing is that while I understand the response coming from a place of fear, of,
I get it too. Don't get me wrong, I get it.
Poor white folks.
I get it.
The flip side of it is equality and justice ain't a pie.
No.
Just because blacks are getting it doesn't mean whites are getting it less.
Right.
And that's one piece of it. And the other piece of it is, at this point, and yes, at some point in our country's future, it will be, whites will not be the majority.
Right.
It's not anytime soon. It's not the current generation. And when you look at it from a generational wealth perspective, it ain't gonna be anytime
But see,
soon.
this is my whole
that's
thing.
the problem.
This is my whole thing about it, is that you're the only ones that feel that way. We don't care about mixing.
Right.
Hispanics don't care about mixing. Everybody else doesn't care. So if
that's because they're already a mix coming from South America.
Right.
South America was colonized by.
Well, it's
the
your
Spaniards
turn. It's
anyway.
y'all's turn. It's y'all's turn. It's y'all's turn. So you gotta take it out the butt and put it in the box. You gotta put it in the box. Take it out the butt, put it in the box, because it's our turn. It's
and that's the line
turn.
of the week tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Take it out the butt, put it in the box. Take it out your butt, put it in your box.
Call it a. No, I won't say that. I was about to say call it a Catholic rebirth. I'll say that. Call it a Catholic rebirth.
Goodness gracious. All right, so I want to get back to the chat real quick. Jason just calling out, I think it becomes a slippery slope in a conversation is when it comes to labeling and trying to separate people from real men and whatever the labels are on the other circles. Malcolm kind of chimes in. They want he's chiming in more on the race conversation. They want to be the ruling race, so out of fear, so they're trying to take it out of us anyways. They can because of consistent fear of other minorities. And then Jason chiming back in, that's not taken away from the point that you guys shouldn't exist. I just don't think there should be any divisiveness in who or what a real man is or not. And I think we can agree with that.
I agree.
Well, see, no, I agree. I agree 100%. But it's the same way that people assume any white man over the age of 60 is a racist.
Which 90% of the time you're going to be right.
Not always. not always.
Back in the day. Yeah.
Not always. Not always at all.
Over 80.
But
over
the
80.
thing is, the thing is.
How old's Joe Biden? Over 70. Sorry.
You know what? I'm going to say this, though. You know what? I don't care about the races or none of that. But if you are racist, please stop saying that I don't care about color.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you say I don't care about color, you're
not
already
acknowledging
saying,
it.
You know, you're already saying that you are a racist.
Right.
Or what's your favorite line? I have a black friend. If you have a black friend, you don't have to say it. We will see it in you.
Right.
You know what? You've been around black people enough. You know that we don't even care about that. So therefore, you don't have to say it. But for you to justify it means I don't care about it.
So let me
means that you're worried about it.
Yeah, you're worried.
You're worried that I
you don't
might
want
see
me
that
to. You don't want me. You don't want to be scared. I'm gonna jump on you.
Right.
So you saying I have a black friend. I had black friends. So please don't jump on me.
So you bringing that up around. Trust me, we'll know if you have black friends or not.
Yeah, we can tell.
So when I was at CMU, the running joke was there was Mike, the football player, there was
Carl.
Michael, the student, and then there was Reggie that came out when Mike drunk.
Oh, right. Right. That makes sense.
And Reggie was the kid from the hood.
Oh, right. That makes sense.
They grew up with Cliff
That makes
and
sense.
Shelby and Gordon and whoever
And
else.
I bet she shocked the shit out of those robots. You hear what I'm saying? They were like, Michael! Malfunction.
Oh, shit.
That's what happened. But to make my
But
point.
I did scare a lot of white folks at CMU when I drank.
I bet you did, because they were like, oh, that's not.
Because the accent came out.
Is he white or is he white?
Right.
He's not white. He's not white. But no, what I was saying was, I meant that generationally.
Yeah.
The same reason why you think every white man over the age of 60 is racist, because they came from that background. So what I'm saying is, of course, that, how can I put it? We're growing into this. This is something that's being grown into. And I don't mean like sexuality. Whoever is on that side of sexuality has more than likely felt that way since birth.
Right.
But we're growing into this situation that we're currently in. So generationally, there are going to be people that fall outside of that realm of thinking.
Absolutely.
right? Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're enemies. By all means, I would imagine and hope that Jason would consider me an ally. But at the same time, I would consider myself a masculine man. Now, as I stated on the podcast last week, I'll hold the door for a female. I'll hold the door for Jason. I'll hold the door for you if you catch me at the right time. You feel what I'm saying? I don't mean to disrespect anybody.
Right.
That's just me being courteous and watching your back as you go through a door. Every time I walk out of a door, I look both ways as if I'm crossing a street. Because I don't know who's on the other side of that door, what's about to happen. Those are masculine ways of thinking that are dying off because people don't understand what's the point of why would you do that? You're not in the street. Why would you look both ways? Well, watch. When you walk out straight to your right and somebody cracks you in the back of the head from your left, you'll know why somebody looks both ways. Somebody that's been in a situation before that knows, okay, I got to be wary about myself. We're raising people that are oblivious to what is really going on around them.
No doubt.
Based on that, here we go. This is another one. You could be totally honestly, like loving, caring. You say, well, thank you, beautiful. Just thank you, beautiful. It's a sexual harassment thing today.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I'm just saying, you know what? You got to watch everything you say.
Mine was
today.
always, hey, hun. You doing all right,
hey,
hun?
Thank you, sweetheart. You say thank you, sweetheart. Hey, hun. Hello, beautiful. Or I had a woman I was talking to. What's a woman? I had to pay a bill because we all have to pay bills. I told a woman one day.
I'll come doing eventually.
Yeah, you know what I said. You know what? You have a nice weekend, sweetheart. And she blew me up like my name ain't sweetheart. And I'm like, I ain't seen you. I don't care. You was treating me nice the whole time we was on the phone. And I said, thank you, sweetheart. And she gave me like the third degree, read my ass out the whole 9 yards. And all I was saying was like, thank you, sweetheart.
So Cliff had an incident about 3 weeks ago where he got called out on the same shit.
I'm learning. Listen, I'm learning. And I don't have a problem with that. I would like, it would make more sense to me if I knew where that came from. Like,
no,
if it
I know.
Is it a sign of weakness? Like, what is it that triggers you? You know what I mean? Like, what?
I mean, I do think that accepting it.
Because I don't mean anything. That'd be like, I feel like that's the same way as somebody saying, good day, gentlemen.
Right.
Like, what? Are you assuming I'm a gentleman?
Right.
No,
right.
I hear
what you're saying.
I don't understand.
I think the connotation there, especially if she is coming from a law background, right?
Oh, are you talking about something specifically?
Well, I'm talking about a specific incident.
I didn't want to speak about any specific.
All I'm saying is, if you're coming from a profession that is male dominated and you've heard that shit before and it was used to dismiss you,
I get it.
That's where there's sensitivity.
I guess my whole thing would be, what would be better, me saying that, or I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
I mean, I don't think you can ever get in trouble for saying
that. But then now you're cutting out. Now my whole thought is gone. I don't even know what I was addressing you for, because I'm now asking for permission to
give you a compliment or just say something nice to you.
But no, I get it. Once again, I get it. Listen, like I said though, this hasn't always been this.
Oh no,
we're coming into this, so you have to give people time to adjust.
You've got to give them a chance to
that want to adjust.
Right.
I'm someone that doesn't mind adjusting.
Right.
But bitch, you better give me some time. And I'm not speaking to anybody specifically.
No, that was general in terms of, and it's the same thing we talked about earlier. It's the same thing around my natural position as a protector and a provider. And when you want me to be the guardian of your feelings too,
that's actually, no, you know what's funny?
I'm willing to change, but it's going to take me some time to figure that out.
It's funny that he said that, because saying things like sweetheart, hun, or whatever is actually, at least in my mind, our way of coming out of that masculinity.
I agree.
And showing more a softer side. Saying, I'm not one of those
we're not being
gorillas.
Yeah.
I'm, so
we're
when
not
you stop me, it's like, oh, should I have been a gorilla? What should I do?
So what am I supposed to do? Go back to the question of what is a man?
Hands up those shoes.
What is a man? They go back to the question of what is a man? It's good. We know what a real man is. Go back to the same question.
We're confused. There isn't any anymore because you're confusing us. We don't know. We're trying to help. I'm trying to help.
Right.
I want to be on everybody's side. I want everybody to have equal. I want everybody to feel the same way. But now you're isolating me, and I'm like, well.
Well, now you know what
y'all
it feels
side,
like, Cliff.
I thought that was the black flight anyway, because black folks stood with gays, Mexicans, Latinos, all that. But it's like, well, damn. Now it's a problem. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now it's like, well,
gays
we're
got to
struggling.
skip the line, is what happened.
But it's everyone though. It's not just gays. Other than Indians.
And meanwhile, Indians,
Native
Americans are sitting back here like.
If you really said go back to your own country, the only people that wouldn't be able to leave are African Americans and Indians.
Right.
We're the only two that this is all we know.
True.
Everybody else came from somewhere else.
But willingly.
So what I'm saying is everyone skipped the line. Everyone skipped the line. Yeah. Everyone, not just gays, everyone skipped the line. And now that it's time for the people that have been here from the birth are like, well, what about us? And people are like, well, what about y'all? It's not an argument.
You know what? There was a woman. I don't know what her thing. Janet something. She was an Oprah. And she asked. She did the
with
thing,
the glasses. Old white lady with the glasses.
Yeah, she did a thing about blue-eyed, brown-eyed, and she separated them. And the thing,
one girl flipped out.
One girl didn't freak me out, but you know what? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But if you guys want to find out, get on Oprah Winfrey. You look it up, and you can do it. Okay, my thing is exactly what impressed me was, it was just how what bothered me. I can say it impressed me. What bothered me was the simple fact that the more they talked about the brown eye being over the blue eye, the brown eye became more racist than the blue eye. But yet they forgot about the fact that they were the same exact people. It's not about the test was, where are you? Who are you? We love one another. Let's love one another. We don't have to fight one another.
Well,
man.
what's interesting with that whole experiment, which by the way you could not get away with today, there would be so many fucking lawsuits and everything else. Was the fact that when they flipped the script the next day, the results flipped too. Like, it didn't matter. Whoever was the oppressed saw their test scores go down by 60%
and the
or
ones
40%.
The ones who were pushed down.
Oh, no, Jane Elliott.
Yes, that's right.
That's right.
Elliott, that's
Jane
right.
Elliott.
And I think that's what. And I mean, when you think about that, one day of that kind of oppression, and you saw kids' test scores go from, what was it, like 6 minutes, or from 3 minutes of completing an assignment to 6 minutes.
No, even
it literally doubled.
What was the show? How They Think? How You Think? How They Think?
I don't know. Which one are you talking about?
Netflix. It's like a show where they
100 Humans?
No. It's like How They Think or something like that.
I can't think of it off the top of my head.
It wasn't Brain Games. It was something else. I think it was called How They Think.
Okay.
But it might have been Brain Games, and I could be confusing it. But it was, they did a game show. And what they did was one of the contestants, out of like 4 contestants, one of the contestants' buzzer didn't work. And they were asking questions that they knew they would know. And every time they were like looking at other people like, well, I'm clicking and y'all ain't.
Right.
After a while, he started getting hostile.
Of
like
course.
He wanted to hurt somebody. Like, now hold the fuck up. Tell me y'all playing with me. Like, and that's what it is. It's like, if you have my buzzer turned off, and I don't have a fair shake it shit, that what?
Well, it's what you said. It's either
you'll burn the bills down to get its warrant.
You either get hostile or you believe it.
Exactly.
Those are the two responses.
I don't believe shit because I know I know the devils that run this.
That's
bitch.
true. Cheers.
You know, so what are you doing?
You
know what?
I'm taking more specifically.
I want to get more to the people.
White man.
Get more to the people. Get more to the people. The people ain't
World
shit.
Bank, Rothschilds, all that bullshit.
I want to hear more to the people. We know we all in us.
Oh, we want to.
I would hang up if I was talking. Like, I've been watching y'all. Y'all don't want to answer my question. I'm hanging up on y'all fuckers.
Oh, all right. So let's go back to the chat. Let's see what we got. So
he saw that heart. Pop saw that heart.
That's
like,
what it was.
I saw that heart. Because you know what? They said, you know what? That new motherfucker on the radio, I like him.
I like him.
He cute. I like that new motherfucker. I want to talk to that dude. Hey, he got the little visor on. He's top of his head. I want to talk to him. So go ahead. Let's talk.
All right. So here's what we got, and I kind of want to stall for 20 seconds because we know that's about the delay, right? For the live audience to watch. I want to see if anybody chimes in before I get to the end of these, so that's why I'm talking right now to give them a chance.
Listen.
But anyways, Malcolm started off the last piece of the conversation with, "We're against you, Clifford." He just wanted you to know.
Oh, that's fine. I know.
that's your son talking shit to you.
Most fathers and sons do butt heads, so I get it.
Jay coming back to clear that up. Yes, I do see you as an ally and a brother. Talking about you, Mr. Jennings.
Fist up. It's not just for blacks.
Amen. Let's see. Malcolm, it also depends on what someone is looking for in a man and for that person to determine if that guy is fulfilling their standards on what they view as a man in their eyes.
Oh, I'm sure Malcolm said that.
I mean, Malcolm, he's a smart cat. I like
Is it
him.
only Malcolm? Malcolm and the other guy?
And then
Right.
there's like one or two other ones in there
Here
too.
we go.
Let's see. That's what I mean by it coming down to what it is someone seeks out of an individual. So Jason was agreeing with Malcolm there. And these guys obviously need either their own show or to be like weekly guests.
Listen.
And then
we're working on something.
Malcolm can definitely tell that that's your pops.
I'm sure.
Well, thank you, Malcolm. I did a DNA test, and the DNA test said I might be. The DNA test was 50-50. Since the DNA test was 50-50, you just confirmed you're 51. I like you. Go ahead, Malcolm. I'll pay child support now, even though that motherfucker is old as hell.
You're right. Well, listen, don't give it to my mama.
Thank you, Malcolm.
Oh shit! So that rounds out the chat. This has been a good conversation. We're already an hour and 5 in.
Okay.
So it's been
we halfway
good.
through.
We haven't even hit. I mean, we've touched on like little pieces of topics. We haven't hit
Not all
on
of it?
either of the two topics we were really looking for.
That whole thing?
What?
We all now?
No, we
Oh.
still going.
I didn't know. I didn't.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
no.
we still going. I'll
We
let
got
you know.
about we got about another hour in this.
And if you need a,
If you
if you,
need this,
No,
yeah,
I'm
we need a
okay.
bathroom break,
No,
we-
I
we
just
can
wanted to
do
know, because you know what? I've been drinking, and I'm not advertising certain beers. I'm just advertising the yellow. The yellow.
By the way, if there's a certain Columbus brewery or distillery that would like to
I am
sponsor
your
us-
man. I will be your
I
spokesman.
don't know who that may be, but if there is,
It might rhyme
one,
with schmoobog.
we would love a Columbus sponsor.
Or
I like
Columbus
the-
juice.
Sir.
I like the beer.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I feel like I feel like we. Well, I'm about to take a piss, of course.
That
But
sounds
I feel like
about
we
right.
should let's switch the topic up.
Wait. All right, so I'm gonna run through these last couple of ones that have come in.
Uh-oh.
So Malcolm saying, "I'm sorry, that's your son, though. He a buster." Jason coming back. I'm disappointed you missed my butt comment though. So I missed the butt comment, I guess.
I didn't get that one. I'm sorry.
And then Malcolm says, definitely got to join with Cliff's Pops sometime for real. Cliff's bring Pops to the range.
There you go. There you go. We can drink all you want. I will meet you wherever. I am that man. I will meet you. You buy me one, I'll buy you two.
We gonna have
And then
to
you got to buy me three.
Find an outdoor one then. You can't go to
Yeah,
the
the
one-
COVID 19, 20,
Listen.
25, 19. As you
But,
see, I have been
yeah,
drinking.
what you mean? Pops is around.
Goodness gracious. All right.
Pops is around.
Do we want to take a break and let everybody use the restroom real quick and then we'll
Yes,
come
cut
right
it.
back? We
Yes,
can do
cut
that.
it. Quick 5.
All right, so for the couple of folks that are watching, we're going to take about 5 minutes. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Are we off now?
In a minute. We still got about an hour left.
Oh, we got an hour?
Yo, we are back live. What are we talking about? We had a good first hour. Quick shout out to the chat. Thank you for Jason, Mike, or Malcolm, and Rita for joining us again tonight.
Of course.
Always appreciate it.
Always.
I think we're gonna get back into it. And what are we gonna hit on? We're gonna touch on our kind of main topics. We talked about this being a Father's Day episode, and not just because your pops is here. Yeah. So I think we had two topics around. Did we want to continue the what they don't teach in school? Did we want to hit on famous father-son duos? What do you want to talk about?
Let's start it out with the famous father-son duos. We can do the what they don't teach in schools. I feel like towards the end.
All right, that works for me. And I already hit on one of them. I hit on COINTEL.
Right, COINTEL Pro.
So. All right, so what you got? Are you gonna come to me first?
Listen,
I'm the one that came up with the topic.
I can name 3 off top just on the basketball side. I can name the Bryants, the Currys, the Thompsons.
I mean, that's what you could lead off with. Like I said, it didn't have to just be sports. The two that came to mind for me, because I was a big baseball fan growing up.
Ben Griffey Jr.
Yeah, it was the Griffins.
I knew that. See, I didn't want to go for any of the obvious ones. You know what really stuck out to me, but I don't know how it's going to end up working out. But I'm rooting for this one. The Slices.
What do you mean?
Kimbo Slice.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Wait, Kimbo Slice has a son that's like of age, ready to fight.
Yeah, his son had a.
How
Well,
old
no,
is
I don't know if
Kimbo?
he's fighting. He had a college football scholarship.
Okay.
Can't remember what school it was to, but he said he was thinking about going into fighting after his dad.
Okay.
So he doesn't know if he's going to stick with football or going to fighting, but he looks like his dad.
Yeah.
I got a question. I'm a stunner. How do you feel? You ready for this? You ready for this, Mike?
I'm listening.
Okay. How do you feel when your father is Christian Jenner? How do you feel when you say a father? Your father becomes your mother, and your mother is better than your mother. So Christian Jenner has become his mother, and he's better than the mother he had. So how do you answer that one? I just want to know that one. Here we go. Because you know what? That'll make me feel good. It'll make me feel good about being a no good father.
Who said you a no good father?
I never paid child support for Cliff.
Who said you
But
a
I
no
loved
good
him.
father?
I never met him until he was 59. But no, seriously, I love my son. I took care of my son. But my question is, I'm just playing with y'all. I just want to know, how is it that Christian Jenner has become the father-mother?
I think he just did that to smack Chris around.
Right. You might not be wrong.
Listen, because there's a couple females out there that I said, should you cut your dick off to beat this bitch ass? No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. But listen, those are rich people problems. So who knows Chris and Bruce? He might have done that just so he could rough her ass up. Like, listen, I'm a female now, so. What you say?
I got
what
this.
You got? I got tits. What you say? What was you saying about my Olympic marathon?
That's right.
But nah, yeah, I didn't listen. Once again, we're back in that pie chart. You gotta ask somebody who's overlapping. I don't know that. I mean, I imagine I would overlap in a few spots, especially the delusional ones. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean. That's not even a reality of mine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you was to come out like that, I feel like my whole world would explode just for the simple fact that just does not make sense.
It does not make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make
now,
sense.
Bruce may have made sense. Like, if I was his son, I may have been able to see
that he was.
You know what I mean? Like, back in the Olympic days, like, you didn't like that.
Right.
I already knew you had a little bit of that in you. I couldn't see
What
that
is it,
with
you a little sweet?
Now, with that being said, if you chose to do that, I mean,
I would never do that.
I know you would.
It was just a joke. I don't care to do that.
But since we're on the topic,
I'm not King Kong Ding Dong, but I'm very good.
What I will say about your pops is
Very
he does
good.
a better job playing to the camera than either you or I do.
Listen.
Absolutely.
Trying to tell you. I gotta go.
Oh shit.
Oh,
I don't have
shit.
13 inches, Malcolm. But I'm somewhere in the middle. Above, minus. Above. Plus,
Oh
minus.
goodness.
But I'm there.
Oh shit.
Malcolm's chiming in with the Jameses in terms of famous father-son duos, and I don't know.
Jameses.
I'm assuming that's LeBron and Bronny.
Nah,
Oh,
you can't do that yet.
You're not. No, he's not
Can't
there
do
yet.
that yet.
He ain't there yet. Bronny
No.
ain't done shit.
Yeah, no, you can't do that yet.
He's what, a freshman in high school?
Yeah.
Sophomore.
Is he
Well,
sophomore this year?
Right.
Well,
he's coming into his sophomore
He's
year.
coming into his sophomore.
Right.
So he didn't even. So wait, he was a freshman in Corona where he didn't even finish, or did
Yeah, I
basketball
don't-
finish?
I don't know. Well,
Basketball
he's
might have
on year
finished.
round. He does year round.
Well, I know, but if you're playing for a high school, there's a
like
set
high school,
season.
right? Yeah. Yeah, it would have finished.
Yeah, because I guess they finish in February.
Yeah,
don't
they would have finished.
All right. Is he? They're not. He's not here in Ohio. He's in California.
No,
right?
yeah, they moved. So here's the thing. Now this is. I'm glad you brought that up, Malcolm, because that was one of the things I wanted to touch on, which would make them the.
I mean, you can't even talk about it though. Like,
This would make them the top, the top. There is no father-son duo other than LeBron Bronny.
I'm listening.
Is
Could they play together?
exactly if they play together on the same team.
LeBron's our age, right? So he's 34. He could play till he's 40.
Right.
They could play together. I mean,
Right.
they could play. They could play in the
And you
league
gotta
at the
think,
same time.
the older he's getting, the more his game is changing, to where he's jump shotting and passing anyway.
Right.
So he's not being hard on himself like he was
No.
back in the day. That's what he always said his goal was, to be the first father-son duo to play together in the league.
Well, and I mean, if he's like, he has to be, like, he graduated with us.
Right.
So he's 34, 35. Well, he would be 33, 34. And
Wait,
so
did he graduate in 04 or was it 03?
no, he graduated with us. He was
It
04.
was?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that means that he would be. So let's say he gets out of. Let's say he only spends either 2 years in college or goes to the D League.
Oh no, he's not going to. Yeah, no, he's gonna be back. He's gonna be straight to the league.
So it'll be. So he's 5-6 years out from.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be straight to the league. Like, because they're already working on trying to get eligible. They're talking about there was a dude this year who might be bypassing, who they said might be able to bypass college to go straight to the league. I can't think of
Gotcha.
his name. I
Yeah,
wrote
I
it
don't
down
know.
somewhere, but
No, I don't know, but I mean, the flip side of it is Bronny right now, at least from what I saw, doesn't have his father's physical stature. Like,
No,
Well,
he doesn't.
his
He
dad,
also
by
took
the
a
time
man.
he
took
was a
man.
sophomore, was already like 6'5".
well, wait. Here's the thing, because they did do the comparison, the side-by-side comparison
Okay.
at the age of 13.
At the age,
At the
okay.
age of 13, and Bronny beat him out in all categories.
Did he? Okay.
Bronny was bigger than LeBron was at 13.
Heavier, really? Because LeBron
No,
was not a small dude.
No, I don't know
As
about
a senior,
heavier, but they were
LeBron
talking.
was a man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
tall.
no. LeBron was
He's
what?
definitely he's definitely taller at
He was
13 than LeBron was
he
at
was
13.
230 as a 230 or 240
As a senior.
as a graduating senior.
Mm-hmm. And then he dunked with LeBron.
And
at
he would have been a
13.
phenomenal tight end in the
Basically,
NFL.
what it sounds like is the James gene rounds out at about 13.
Okay.
13 is when you start dunking and when you start putting on weight and when you start, you know what I
Okay.
mean?
That's kind of
will
when you
say-
start. That's when the
Right.
spike happens.
Now, what
He's
I
a
will
big-
say, since then, it's only been, a year, it doesn't seem like he's put on the
Mhm.
weight that his father did in that regard, but...
But he's also, at this point, 4 months into Corona, he's also been hindered in that
Right.
sense. In sense if he's not doing team workouts, I'm sure his dad's got him working out. But
Listen,
the flip side of all of this is, I don't think they count as a famous father-son duo
Not yet,
right now.
not
Because
yet,
Bronny
not
ain't
yet.
famous.
Not yet.
Not famous.
Bronny
He's
ain't made it
famous,
yet.
but he's not-
famous for being
He doesn't
LeBron's
get,
son.
He doesn't get paid for his likeness, is
Right.
what I'll say.
Right.
Now, once you start getting paid for your likeness, that's famous.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Just people knowing you, that's not really fame to me. They just, you're
No,
just
I'm with
well
you.
known. But,
So what other What other ones we got? I hit on Griffey. I'm not gonna go into like specifics. I will talk about the fact that they both the fact that they both played for Cincinnati and they were, you know,
I'll tell you when I would like
solid
to see
baseball players. Like
one I would like to see is Sugar Shane Mosley and Sugar Shane Mosley Jr. He's not bad. His son isn't bad. Like, you know, we've had this conversation. Usually the kid doesn't end up being as good as the dad because you're not as hungry. You didn't have to work as hard, and you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you're usually more privileged than your dad was, is why you're not as good. And that may be the case because he doesn't have that killer instinct.
Right,
But I would like to see him round out like his dad, because he has the skill. He does. That's evident.
Yes.
I see the skill there, and the rest I feel like could be trained into him. But the whole reason why I say that is he was on the Contender series, that boxing series, and he made it to the finale and lost to a dude who's actually pretty good. Like, he didn't know he was as good as he was. He lost to a pretty good dude, but it made me feel like, is that going to be the career ruiner? You know what I mean? Like, everybody pegged him to win, and you lost. So now I feel like
I'm done with you.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got you.
And I haven't heard anything from him since. I would like for him to come back, but you know how that goes.
right.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Other than that, Deion Sanders,
He's got
but that was on the cover.
right.
I think that was the cover of the article. Him
That
and
makes
his
sense.
son. His son's trying to get to USC now.
But again, I don't know that counts as famous at this point.
I guess you're right, huh?
Right.
That falls back into the same category.
I mean, you kind of have the same conversation
What
about
about-
Snoop and his son, right? Like,
Right. What about fuck father son? It's Father's Day. What about Muhammad Ali Layla?
I can get
love
behind that.
That listen,
I love
Muhammad
it.
Ali Layla.
Yeah.
I think she carried her daddy's name to
I
the
think
fullest.
so too. And
I do.
listen, she might have done it the best.
I hear you.
Like, out of everybody so far we've named, who's accomplished what she has off of her father's name.
The Williams sisters.
But was the dad as good?
No,
He
no,
wasn't
sucked.
as good. I
He
feel like
sucked.
he got
well, and
more
that's
training.
that's what I far like you always run into is you always run into
one or the other.
one or the other. Either
Right.
the father was far superior or the children were far superior.
Which brings me to a question that
So what do you
I've
got?
always wondered. What made you stop boxing and go to college?
My stop me from boxing was I was very good at it, but the problem was I found out when I wanted to go pro, I had mitral valve prolapse, and they did an investigation of my heart, and they found out one of my arteries was behind my heart. So my lungs was not my heart and my lungs didn't work to that capacity because
Right.
I had like one of my arteries was behind the heart, so when my heart got expanded, it cut my breathing off,
Right.
so it kept me from going. But I took that and decided to, you know what, I can't be. At 22 years old, I had a semi heart attack because my heart is not it couldn't do that. So my thing is, I took that and I wanted to give it back to other people. That's why I teach the youth today.
Right.
I teach the youth today to become better fighters. I teach the women today to satisfy my need. There's a difference. I teach the women to satisfy my need. I teach the youth
Listen.
to satisfy their pocket.
Defend themselves.
Fix my pocket. Fix my pocket. I teach
Right.
young men. I teach your pockets. Young men, you help my pocket. Young women,
Fools agree.
And there you go. And there you go.
I'm sorry about that.
All right, so we
Please
got
forgive Malcolm.
Right.
Jason.
we got Malcolm chiming in with a couple. Malcolm said the Longs, and then he said the Mosses. I think this where I would be at this point
Longs.
is I don't know. Is
Help
that
Malcolm.
Howie Long?
Who's the Long? Yeah, the Howie Long. Yeah, Howie Long Jr. And
But
had another one.
Has that hit the point of? I don't think that's hit critical mass.
There was 3 of them. He has another son. I can't think of his other son's name. Hugh. I
Maybe,
think it's Huey
but
Long. Howie and Huey. But
are they?
yeah, I don't think they
no.
reached Howie's level.
And he's talking about Randy and Thaddeus Moss, and I'm like, no.
I didn't know Thaddeus was that good.
No, that's what I'm saying.
He wasn't good enough for me to know him as.
He got picked
Randy
up.
Moss
He got picked up in the. He got picked up here in 2020 by the Redskins, but he ain't done shit. Malcolm called out the O'Neals, Sharif, and Shaq.
Well, see, we're
To
still
be-
waiting
to
on
be
Sharif.
seen,
We're
to
still
be
right,
seen.
we're still waiting
He
on
sucks.
Sharif.
This is the whole thing. Malcolm is calling out these folks that. He's saying the Longs have won rings.
Who? Howie Jr.
We'll have to see if he comes back. The ones that I can get on board with, though, are the Snookas. Jimmy Superfly Snuka and Tamina Snuka. Pro wrestlers, yep. And that was actually going to be my one that I haven't talked about yet.
Have you seen Glow?
Oh, Glow is phenomenal.
I love Glow. I fucking love
I'm waiting
Glow.
for season 4.
I love Glow.
Which, by the way, they're only doing season 4 will be the end. But the other one that I would call out would be the he said Chris Long on the Eagles in 2018. But he made the pros like his father. The Usos and Rikishi. The one that I would call out would be Rocky Johnson and The Rock.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't even think of that.
If you want to go pro wrestling, The Rock and his pops.
Yeah.
And his grandfather, Peter Chief Maivia.
Listen, I didn't know.
And Rock's daughter right now is actually training in the WWE.
I did hear about that.
And I'm sorry, The Rock is just a cool dude. Like Dwayne
I couldn't
Johnson
stand him back in the day.
when he was actually on like wrestling.
Yeah, the eyebrow shit and all that. I couldn't stand. Whatever, however.
You know what? It's my first time on this, but you know what? I like Malcolm. I am watching the screen, and Malcolm is the beast. I like Malcolm.
Malcolm doesn't stop.
Malcolm said, "I don't give a shit
Malcolm
about nothing.
wishes he was
I
on
want
right
you to
now,
see
though.
who I am. I'm on the fucking script.
Call in, nigga.
Hey, I'm there, Malcolm.
Shit, if you want to
You
talk
my boy.
this
I like
much,
you, Malcolm.
Call in, son.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. You two keep the conversation going. I'll text with Malcolm and get him in on Zoom here in just a
Because
second.
clearly he wants to be here.
I like
Yeah,
Malcolm.
yeah.
Malcolm, you are a fucking beast. Malcolm, keep it up. I like you, dude. I don't know what I'm doing.
He's
but I'm
lying. He doesn't
talking.
know you.
But you know what? I know it. I
He
like
doesn't
you,
know
Malcolm.
you. He doesn't know you at certified FB.
Keep it on, Malcolm. I like you, Malcolm. Malcolm. You know I like you so much. You ain't got no woman, and you with us, and you know what? If you had a woman, you would get some pussy. You would not be talking to us.
Oh, he got a woman.
But
He said,
you know
he said
what?
I'm
You got
out
a
here.
woman.
Y'all know why I'm here.
Hey, you know I'm sorry, Malcolm. Malcolm,
You
I
read
do
that
like
one
you.
wrong.
Because you know what? You could be doing it and talking to us at the same time. You could be hitting it doggy style. You could be hitting it
Nah, 'cause that
missionary.
that
You
can
could be
cause-
hitting it.
That can cause a rift in the relationship. 'Cause
And
you're
then she gonna ask you, what kind of man are you? Are you a man or not?
And then you have to reply with, some men can walk and chew gum.
I can bang ass and still talk on the internet.
Right.
Malcolm, you are a
With
beast.
my laptop keyboard on the small of your back.
Right.
I love you, Malcolm. Malcolm in the middle. Hey, Malcolm. Malcolm in the middle of what? What you in the middle of? Two thighs. I like you, Malcolm.
All right, you two got to keep the conversation going though.
Oh, you're still.
We are- we're
I'm
there.
Him the
apologize.
info.
So what?
where
I
were
don't
we
see
at?
this. Are they kicking
We're
it
still
out?
doing
Give me a
father,
second. I'll get
sons?
him. I'll get it.
Oh, father son. What
Yes.
about the Irving, Kyrie Irving, and his dad, the Australian
The land was flat.
yeah,
was flat.
the same dude. You know what? I'm glad. Listen,
I'm listening.
I'm glad that I'm not even thanking you. Let me thank myself for bringing that up because I have come to the realization. Fuck LeBron.
You know what? LeBron, he's overrated.
Fuck
I'm getting tired of him.
LeBron,
He always acting like he's like
Jordan
he
all
got to be
day,
everything.
all that. Because I don't listen. This is, and I'm gonna say this. And this
I
is
give
the
it to
last
you.
thing I'm gonna say
Jordan,
about this.
Kobe, and then LeBron. Or Durant, then LeBron.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not.
I
Gonna
like
do that.
Durant.
No, I could see Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, but I would be more inclined to do Jordan, LeBron, Kobe.
I'm inclined to go Kobe,
But
Michael, Kobe, Durant, and then I'm gonna go with the Greek Freak, then LeBron.
Oh, really?
I like the Greek Freak.
I don't.
The Greek Freak,
He's just tall.
but he's a monster and you can't stop
You
him.
can't stop him. But he ain't got no jump shot. If he had a jump shot, it'd be different. But what I will
LeBron
say,
just got a jump shot.
the reason why I said fuck LeBron is I like the fact that Kyrie Irving said we shouldn't play basketball. Some things are more important. I do not like the people that are saying we can do both. No, bitch ass nigga, you can't. That's why we're still in this same boat. Because nobody cares about your I Can't Breathe t-shirts and shit like that for Trayvon Martin. Or they would have made changes back when you did it then.
first time.
Now, if y'all say, I am not playing basketball until you do this, you'll make change.
Right.
Are we still on?
And
Yeah, we're still on.
yeah, we're on. We just ain't on the camera. But my whole thing is, LeBron's so quick to be a social justice warrior, an advocate for social change when it's not affecting his pocket. Because he didn't say shit about China when they were upright. He was saying, listen, he didn't know what he was talking about. Why? Because that affected your bottom line.
That's exactly what it
Because
was.
somebody had their hand in your pocket.
That's
And
what it
now
was.
that it's black folks on the line, you're saying we can do, no, bitch, nigga, we can't do both. If we could do both, tell me why you haven't accomplished equality already.
Right.
To the facts.
No, sit your ass out. Like Kyrie was saying, Austin Rivers talking about this is our job. Y'all motherfuckers make millions a year. It's people out here that aren't eating. Y'all can sit out for 6 months. But the thing is, they pay you not.
Yeah.
I don't want to use the word Uncle Tom because I know that's not the proper term.
No,
because he was
and the
an
flip side
ally.
of that is he is doing.
But
he
they
is.
pay you to
You have to
cast off
understand
your
that he is
people.
making the change that he feels like he can, though. Like,
But you're not.
But you have
No, I
to look
get
at
it.
what he's
The
done in terms of
schools and all that,
schools
we're not
and
I'll
talking
make a
about that
change.
right now.
colleges.
We're not
and-
talking about that right
They're
now.
saying I make a change,
I
but
hear
I ain't gonna
you,
break my
but we
pocket.
are.
Nope. We're talking about police brutality right
Okay.
now.
All right.
It has nothing to do with your school, sir. We're talking about police brutality right now.
It's gonna get worse.
Of course, it's gonna get worse. They already got Atlanta. The motherfuckers is calling off because they don't want to show up.
Right.
Just because we'll stand together, we'll call off. We'll drop our cuss and let y'all know we ain't arrested nobody.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, niggas is being hung from trees left and right, but it's a suicide. Suicides, no false play. No foul play. No foul play involved in this. Like, come on now. Come on now. And LeBron talking about we can do both. No, fuck you. That's how I feel about it. Fuck you. Fuck you and all them little bastards attending your school. Fuck you and all of them. That's how strongly I feel about it.
I hear that. I don't know that
Now,
I can
of course
agree on
I'm
that
playing.
one.
Now, of course
You're
I'm
going
playing.
a little
The
overboard,
kids
but
don't have anything to do with it. But fuck you.
Right.
Period.
right.
That's some dumb shit. Not with it. But Kyrie, I also understand it like they said, Kyrie's getting surgery.
Yeah.
So he could be saying that because he didn't plan on playing anyway.
Right.
But at the same time, it doesn't matter what your plans are if you spark that into motion. You know what I mean? I don't care what your intent was if it inspires or provokes change.
Absolutely.
You can have the most selfish intent possible.
But as long as
but
you
if
drive
that is the
the
catalyst
institutional
to
change, I hear
then
you.
thank you, sir, for it.
But my question on that same aspect is this: the same thing. People like change, but are you doing it for self-motivation? Because you know what, I'm a broke ass motherfucker. I don't have anything. I can't get anything. But I want my pockets to be fat. I want my pockets to be large. So therefore, I get in when you fall apart. I had a conversation. Sorry, but I was drinking. I had a conversation with a buddy of mine tonight, and we asked the question. I said, "Man, look at this." Never mind, I forgot where I was coming from. I will come back to
My
you.
man.
Listen, that's fine. Listen, I do that more than I don't.
I had that
so.
though, man. I swear to God.
Oh, so we gonna check in with Malcolm right now because he is going off in the chat. Let's see what all he's got. He's got. Let's see. He said.
Fuck you, nigga. You only on LeBron's side because he a Laker now.
He said, The Rock and his daughter, which is what I chimed in on. He said, write that too. He said, Randy Orton and Bob Orton. He said, Cliff a hater.
Yeah, I'm sorry, sir. I apologize.
He ain't want no smoke. I'm out here. Y'all know why I'm here. Cliff mad though because I'm his favorite son now. Gang is hating on me because I'm getting love. I'm free because I'm at the in-laws right now finishing this blunt. He said, Kobe all day, Black Mama, Gianni's a beast. Unfortunately. He shoots threes now, Cliff. Giannis he said Giannis, that is.
He doesn't shoot threes.
Kyrie fell off. Trae Young better.
them.
I thought Cliff was a Bron fan.
Trae Young is better currently than Kyrie. I'll say that.
He said, "Damn reckless. Those wine coolers got to him."
Wait.
Who's drinking wine coolers?
Malcolm. He told on himself.
Oh.
He only drinks flavored beer. Has to be Red Apple Orchard or
That's not beer. That's cider. Red Apple's Ale is cider.
Well, that him. What's the other one? There's another one.
Angry Orchard.
Angry Orchard. That's his.
Yeah, those are ciders. Listen, those aren't beers.
He doesn't drink. I went out to him. I went out.
I wish I didn't.
I went out to the bar with him, and he has had literally 2 to 3 beers, and I had to drive for him.
So Malcolm. Okay, I love Malcolm.
And I had to drive for him.
I like Malcolm.
That's my guy.
He's
That's
local.
my guy.
That's why I understand.
Yeah, no, he's
Malcolm
not a drinker.
because he's a local.
He's not a drinker. State your claim. I'm sick of seeing this M pop up. Pull up.
Well, we got Jason joining us.
What up, Jay? What's good?
Oh, there we go.
My G.
You're gonna need the headset.
Golly, how is he going here? How Pop's going here?
I don't need to hear. I was just gonna laugh.
The things are a little rough,
go?
but it should.
If you want that.
Okay, here we go.
Jason, you there?
Jason,
I am, but I can't see y'all.
All right,
well,
give me a second on the camera. I gotta fix the shit.
What's going on with you? How's your week?
You're not gonna be able to see Cliff's pops, but you'll get me and Cliff.
My week has been exhausting.
Listen, aren't they all?
Yes, but listen. So I got a FaceTime call in the middle of y'all's last segment, so I missed some of it. So where are we at? What are we talking about? What's the
Listen, we was just bullshitting. What were we? I was saying fuck LeBron. That was where I was at.
That's where we currently were.
That's
Cliff
the
was
last thing I had
LeBron.
was fuck LeBron.
So, look, I was all up in them comments trying to, when you were in the advertent thought part of the show, I was like trying to get your attention, like y'all should talk about this because I really wanted your opinion on it. So did y'all see the article about the pastor in Atlanta who was on a call with some Christian R&B or hip hop artist? I don't know their name. And the CEO of Chick-fil-A, and he was talking about how
they should watch
white people. No, he was talking about how white people should look at slavery as a white blessing.
Oh yeah, no, I saw that. I saw that.
What did
he
mean
basically
by that?
said
Did
instead of white privilege, they should call it white blessings because white privilege makes it seem has a more negative connotation. And it's like no fucking shit, that's the point.
Man.
So get white blessed, bitch. That's gonna be my new thing. Get white blessed.
Blessing? What the fuck is that?
That's the most ignorant shit I've ever heard in my life.
So what? Black blessings don't exist.
That's kind of the point, right?
You the black. No
he said you got Black Lives Matter. You don't get black blessings.
No blessings.
There you go. There you go. There
You
you
can
go.
have the protest, but you can't have the blessing.
You can't have the blessing.
Right. That is
so
crazy.
Ignorant.
That's crazy. No, I did see. Did you see that? That chick on World Star that showed the Black Lives Matter donations are going to the Democratic campaign.
No, I missed that.
All of the Black Lives Matter donations are going to like it was crazy people listed on there. Like,
why aren't they going to actual causes? Why are they going to a political party?
They said that the what was that?
Because aren't those the same thing?
What was that? That Minnesota? They said that Minnesota freedom thing. That Minnesota freedom reform.
That one I actually understand a little bit because I tried to research it more. I agree they should be paying more of the bail of protesters, but what they've said is that they are actually trying to pay beyond that. They are trying to pay legal fees beyond just bail.
Listen,
but it was
I'm
sold. You're right.
34 million, and you've only done
sold
200,000.
I hear
Stop
you.
it, man, y'all.
I hear you.
I don't
mean,
care
I
what
can
y'all
feel the
trying to
frustration
do.
on that because I donated to that specific fund. So it is kind of frustrating to know it's not being used for the intent of what it's supposed to be used for.
That's why I don't donate. You living, laughing, and loving over there.
Hey,
Sweet
hey,
dreams.
you already know. Look, back in the dungeon
You
again.
wanted that.
Live, laugh, and
Back in the
love.
dungeon again. The
They
king
can
is look.
see
The king is back, and I ain't talking about LeBron.
You ain't shit. First of all, that's first and foremost.
What's going on? What we talking about?
Does that make you my king? Because I'm like the only queen in this bitch.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
We got the infamous Jay.
Listen, where you at?
Infamous, iconic, legendary. We go by multiple names.
That
Where you
Malcolm.
at?
In the dirty they call Indiana.
That
Oh,
Malcolm there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not in Flavor Town right now like the rest of you fellas.
Flamer Town. That's what I'm gonna call it.
Fuck you.
I left Flavor
came to
Town for a little bit. Be
Grandma
back Sunday.
Oh, wow.
Hey, you know what? All I want to say is, now I know who Malcolm is, and I'm with you,
Yeah.
baby, because you kept.
Hey,
You express yourself.
much
Don't
love.
listen to what his
Look,
motherfucking ass talking about.
like I
You
said,
ain't
I'm
shit.
sorry. I'm sorry that Clifford, your son.
You
He's a
ain't
good dude,
shit.
though. You know.
Your whole genealogy ain't shit. Listen.
What's going on? Hey, this has been a good podcast, man. Y'all have had some good topics for real. Like,
Have we-
Cliff said,
I've been-
fuck your whole ancestry tree.
Listen,
Oh,
all
man.
that. Fuck the spit you put on that stick that you sent
Well,
to DNA.com.
23andMe.
Clifford, you
Fuck all
forget that. You forget that at one point, Clifford. You forget that at one point, my last name was Jordan too, so we might have some
shut up.
blood.
Yeah.
There
Back
you
in
go,
the
there you
ancestors'
go.
day.
Your last name wasn't never no Jordan. Don't you ever
How much you want bad?
show me
Are you
show
serious?
me the
Receipts or it
ancestry.
didn't happen.
Listen. My last name didn't become king till 2011 when my parents changed their last name to my biological.
Well, you a fool
grandfather's
for
name.
changing your last name, then.
Hey, look, that was my step grandfather. That was my dad's
I
FB
knew
move.
you
That
was
wasn't
my
my move.
son.
I didn't
Listen,
make that call.
Listen, Lord knows I love my stepfather to death. I love that man to death. But I'm not taking your fucking name.
Right.
You're
Right.
saying?
That's why my dad went from. That's why he went from Jordan to King, because that was my real grandfather's last name.
Listen,
was
yeah,
King.
you got me fucked up, G. Oh, okay, I see.
You
I
know?
see what you're saying.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? That's what we did. What you just
So
said.
you
Yeah.
wasn't no Jordan. A real nigga
Right.
tried to bless your family, and you didn't accept the blessing. You didn't accept the white blessing, Jay. This man's throwing away white blessings over here, Jay. What the fuck is wrong with him?
Oh my goodness! I cannot. That boy is a fool, man.
Ah, my son.
That boy is
He
a
don't
fool.
like us watching. What? Let us see the cursive on the wall behind us.
You want to see it?
Please.
You want to see my sister-in-law's? Always kiss me goodnight.
You-
That's what a real man. That's
you
what a real
go,
man
there you
sleeping
go.
when he go out of town.
You and Jay need to change rooms. Switch rooms.
Oh, I'm
Also-
weak.
Malcolm,
Nah,
I think I
y'all.
found the name of our podcast, White Blessing.
I know that's
White-
right.
You said what blessing?
That's
White
the name of
Blessing.
y'all's podcast,
White Blessing?
White Blessing.
I like
Oh.
it.
Well, Malcolm
wait,
is
I don't
white.
think you
We
get the
haven't
joke.
proved that he's not white.
I don't think Malcolm gets the joke.
All right, y'all see me now. Now I'm out of town. Now I'm in the clouds.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Oh,
Yeah,
you on
I
the
bet
San
you
Francisco?
are.
Is that the
I'm
Golden
over here-
Gate Bridge?
Yes, it
I'm over here
is.
Isn't that bridge famous for suicide? Is that really what you want to be?
Well,
Oh,
hey,
shit.
not I, said the cat. Not I.
Is that right? Is that famous for suicide?
I didn't
The
know
Golden
that.
Gate Bridge? I believe so.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
Well, I'm
thing.
not. I'm not
Well,
jumping.
I mean, any bridge is famous for suicide. Let's be serious.
Right, it's true.
I mean,
That's
facts.
true.
I mean, you going out with a bang, I suppose. If you climb all the way up there,
That's some.
I don't know
Final
about a
Destination
bang.
shit.
You're going. You're going out with a vertical. I don't know about a bang. You're going out with a vertical.
I mean,
That's true.
it should be interesting. It should be an interesting travel.
Right.
Interesting trip.
Be a quick one.
You're going out free falling, as they say.
I'm completing 56 backflips on the way down.
No,
They
no.
say, listen, his death, it's tragic, but it was
He
the
said
most spectacular
56 backflips.
imagery we captured on film.
I'm gonna channel my inner Cirque du Soleil on my way down.
It just flipped.
All right. So do we want to round out the conversation here? Do we want to come back?
at?
Oh yeah,
So we
where's it
talked about-
going?
Anybody else
Right.
have any other famous father-son duos? Malcolm, I was glad you brought up the Rock and
Snuka. Rock.
and Snuka.
That whole Samoan dynasty, Mike.
Right.
Really, that whole Samoan dynasty,
You
man,
right,
is
you
crazy.
right.
You look like a Samoan dynasty.
That's
I'll
why he
take
likes
it.
them.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Look them up. They've got clout. Listen, they've got clout.
The Rock
For generations.
is one of the most charismatic individuals ever born.
And he made the four. He made the four. He made
I'm
the
Team
four.
Tyrese.
I like, you know what?
You would be.
Right, yeah. And he's a
I'm just
Capricorn,
playing all
so
like
look.
crybabies.
I like
you
the
pick
Venus
well.
Williams family.
That's
The
what
daddy
the who?
The Williams sisters.
The sisters. The Venus
Oh yeah, Serena and Venus, man.
Because you cannot, you know what? That is some rich ass
Yeah, no-
pussy. That is some very rich pussy.
But is it richer than the Kardashians?
Yeah,
though?
you know what?
Listen,
You
the
might be
at 13 inches,
Kardashians.
though.
Listen. Though, wait.
Jason's
The Kardashians got a demon in their box, though.
Listen, listen.
Name me a nigga that got with a Kardashian that got out with a sanity other than Tristan Thompson,
I don't even
Maybe
think he got his sanity.
James Harden. And basically what we're getting at, my inadvertent thought is Chloe's pussy ain't shit.
Oh yeah, you
Because
knew that, but you knew that.
Courtney and
She
Kim
didn't
got
turn
him. Courtney and
But
Kim
you knew
and
that.
Chris.
Listen,
And Chris,
listen.
they got that
But-
Venus
Look,
fly.
don't leave out Kylie.
Clink.
Don't leave out Kylie. Don't
I
leave
think
out
Kylie
Kylie.
and maybe the lips. She's not gonna get pregnant.
Who, Kylie?
She's not gonna get pregnant again. Travis Scott, that was it. It's the lips. Travis, because he left
Everything's
her,
fake.
and they were
He
like,
did.
"Oh shit!" So
He
Kylie
did.
ain't got it, so it's the lips. Oh, you can't, pops.
He all right. He's fine.
Oh.
Okay.
It's a one hitter, right?
Uh,
He's fine.
It's a
But,
cigarette. It's
I
a
ain't gonna worry
cigarette.
Right.
I don't know.
I mean a cigarette. That's right.
Yes.
But
So do we have any other famous father-son, or do we want to close out with our what they don't teach at school?
I mean, like I have one, but I
What
don't know
you
if
got?
anybody
What
will
you got,
know
Jason?
it. This is my gay ass. But listen, Magic Johnson and his son EJ Johnson are
Oh yeah, we know about
the
them.
shit.
We know about them.
I appreciate that collabo. Now that nigga he's 7 foot tall. He is the most flamboyant 7-footer I've seen in life.
Oh, but he's
What about the Diddy's?
That's a good one. That's a good
He
one.
did.
but
He
I
did. He got hella
Well,
sons.
no, the only
I know
one-
he has hella sons,
Huh?
but are they famous?
What?
Okay, all right. Let's take it here
No,
further. What about
Just-
Reverend
just
Run and his
show-
son?
No, that's even
Run
worse than the
DMC.
Diddy's.
Oh my.
But his son is famous though. His son has songs. He's signed to the label.
No, I feel like the Barge.
Okay.
El DeBarge's
Baldwin.
kid is the
Baldwin.
most famous Diddy son.
I don't even.
I mean, does
You know
Weezy
El
and Birdman
DeBarge's
count?
from
Well, they're not biological. I don't know if we want to count them.
What's
But.
it,
Well, okay, what about Reginae and her dad, Lil Wayne?
what
his
is
daughter.
she- what should I throw in Floyd Mayweather and her daughter for stabbing a chick? What are we saying here?
Hey.
Those aren't.
Like Lil Wayne,
not
listen,
talking-
Lil Wayne's daughter sings. She's famous too.
don't know
Reginae,
that-
she's
I-
actually famous.
I've
I
never
don't know
heard a
that
song.
she's famous.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
never heard
she
a
is
song.
famous. She was dating Jason. She was dating one
Young
rapper
boy.
a couple months ago, and
No,
she
that
sings
was,
too.
What's the name?
See, this is the problem. I don't listen to current music
Yeah,
or current
no.
pop culture.
See, that's what I'm saying.
She,
Well,
you
they-
talking about YFN Lucci?
Right, Cliff. She was dating him, right?
But that doesn't mean.
But does that
she's
mean
famous.
she's famous?
No, but if you look her up, you'll see songs and stuff by her.
By association.
Well, I'm gonna have to look her up because listen.
I don't know about all that. I don't know about all
Reginae
that.
Carter. Speaking of Lil Wayne, what I will say is he smoked himself. He's full circle. He did drugs so much he burnt himself out and came
All the way back around. Kind of like Snoop.
Lil Wayne's a different beast.
Listen, because he was talking about how racism didn't exist because that white cop saved his life and all kinds of shit. Then they just did an interview and they was like, so you think racism doesn't exist? He said, no, I didn't say racism didn't exist. I said Uncle Bob wasn't racist. I said, no, nigga, you didn't. You said it didn't exist. So So are you now back thinking with your what's going on?
Right,
Way?
right.
Did you take enough drugs to come back
all the
sane?
way back around?
Because that's not what you said before. I don't.
Goodness
I don't
gracious.
To each their own, though.
Right.
You know.
Lil Wayne's a different breed. Literally,
But-
he's not.
Since y'all just popped in, did y'all have any inadvertents off the top?
Nothing that I could think of for real. Nothing that I could.
Malcolm's
I'm sure I
phasing
can
in
think
and
of
out.
one,
Look
but
at him.
But not-
Because
Can you hear me?
About to jump.
He's transporting.
Because he's about to jump.
Can you
Just
hear
make
me?
Sure you write,
No, I'm giving you shit about your virtual background.
Yeah, just
motherfucker.
make sure
Oh, right.
write your
You
suicide
got no
note
arm
before
right
you
now.
cut out the podcast.
I'm just letting y'all know that I'm floating on the clouds right now. I'm not. I don't have my beard tonight. I'm just floating on the clouds tonight.
Right.
Don't mind me. I'm just in the air chilling.
Listen.
What about you, Jason? You got anything?
See angels over there.
So
Right.
are we here for the for Franklin County trying to get Juneteenth to be recognized as a federal holiday?
Oh,
Fuck
they already
my
did.
job, I
Yeah,
worked.
they already did.
And they
Oh,
had
that's
a
already
little-
like a
they had
done deal?
little-
No, they already passed it earlier.
Oh,
The
some
article. I
places, yeah,
tagged
Chase-
you on Twitter.
Franklin,
Chase did.
but
Chase passed it.
the Franklin County Commissioner's
County.
Office.
Yeah, it's gonna be all of Columbus. All of starting 2021. All of
Fuck
Columbus
my
will
job.
be
I
recognized
won't name no
holiday.
names, but if y'all are watching right now, fuck y'all, fire me.
Well, I also heard our
Juneteenth-
mutual friend at your job. I just
Wrong
heard
with him?
left as well.
Right. What's
Wait.
wrong with Cliff?
And if they
Wait,
someone
left,
put-
then they're smart.
Right.
What? Who is
Who-
that?
Who
Oh,
is
don't
that
say any
to?
names.
Someone
Oh,
I
His
I
used
know
job-
to
his-
date.
exactly
his place
what
of-
you're
his place of
talking
work,
about.
Someone I used to date.
Yes, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, and it's
Someone
about time.
take
there
take
before
Clifford's
me.
wine coolers away. He's had too few.
First of all, sir,
Too
I've
many.
only too few. I've only had 3.
Too
That's
few.
first of all.
Ah, too few.
That's
He's,
first
he's
and
done
foremost.
dilly.
Second of all, these aren't wine coolers, sir.
What you got?
These are. What you mean? This
No,
is,
no, we don't show the. Not
No,
until
and
they
Cliff,
pay us.
no, Cliff, he
I know,
probably
that's
pissed in the
right.
cup and forgot.
Yeah,
Started drinking.
We're holding them hostage. But just know it's not no angry goddamn orchard. Just know that.
Oh,
I am waiting on.
okay.
There's actually
Don't
a
show
company
them
called
Angry
Echo
Right.
Distillery, as well.
Do they do
that
Columbus?
that I know the.
You
I
know
actually
what?
Flavor
know
town.
the people that
One
stood
thing I
up.
say is Elvis liked to drink that juice.
Did he say Elvis like to drink that
Yes,
juice?
he did.
Oh, I'm weak.
Elvis
Hey, your
liked
dad's
to
the
drink
shit.
that
Hey,
juice.
Hey, your dad's
and
the shit.
He didn't let the juice ferment either. He could at least let the juice ferment a bit, but it didn't grow old enough to be drank. It was very ripe.
he says very right.
Listen, that juice,
Elvis.
that nectar.
Right. Nectar of the gods.
I was about to say something else. Now that I won't say. That I have enough sense not to say. I will not say that. And it wasn't anything in reference to age. It was in reference to religion. I won't say it.
Well, y'all already we already
It wasn't-
disrespected the lips last week. We talked about the inverted lips last week, so we
Whose
can't get
lips?
much worse than that.
I did.
We all
Just
did.
so-
We talked about the
Yeah,
lips.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
just remember
What
the
lips?
lips, quote unquote, the lips. We said we love all lips. You said the lips that are out, lips that are sideways. Remember we talked about the lips.
Yes, we did. We talked about it was in
Cliff
relation
forgot.
to the PlayStation, the PlayStation
Oh, okay.
We
I
said-
don't like all lips.
lips.
Top-
not all lips matter.
Now
is
that
what
made
you said?
that may be the toxic masculinity in me, but if your lips,
Oh,
listen,
not
I don't
being a
like
church.
all lips.
Not all lips.
It's only certain lips. what I'm saying? And that PlayStation lip ain't for me. I'm a sex box guy.
Oh my goodness.
I might get the PlayStation.
You will. I know you will. You're gonna give in. You know you are.
I mean, the flip
Especially-
side is that right now, I'm not a PlayStation guy either, but
But you're looking at it.
you have to understand, like, I don't like the multiplayer shit. I don't like playing
See,
games
I
with
do.
other people. I want to play single player games.
I don't like single.
One-
And right
Once-
now, it looks
Yeah.
like
They got the
PlayStation's
God
gonna
of
have
War.
the single
They got
player games.
Uncharted. They got.
Right.
They do got a lot of games that I Last of Us.
Right.
They got a lot
That's
of games
all my
I-
shit.
They got the best games overall. They have the best games
They got some
overall.
good-
And honestly, let me tell you what I've been playing recently. After
Yeah.
our conversation a couple weeks ago,
Mm.
I went back and I got Assassin's Creed Odyssey when it showed up on.
Yeah.
See, that's
I
so
love
funny y'all
Assassin's
said
Creed.
that. I have it and I don't play it. I've only played it
Oh.
That's the
one
Spartan
Oh,
time.
I've been loving.
You
yeah,
got to
it's
get
the
into it.
Spartan one.
Assassin's Creed, they're such fantastic
Yeah,
games.
the-
I mean,
I
I loved the first 4 or 5
Loved all
of
of
them.
them except for the only one I never played was
Syndicate was the first one I didn't.
I wanna play that
finish. I
Egyptian
did
one.
not play Origins.
Yeah, I
Oh,
want to
Black
play
Flag
that.
is my
I want to
favorite.
play Origins.
That was the Egypt one.
Yeah, I didn't
That
play
was the one I was hyped for. A
I'm
black
sure.
Assassin's
The
Creed.
Origins.
And it wasn't that high. A black
think
Assassin's Creed.
My problem
think
was is
Odyssey
that I
was that.
played. To your point,
said
yeah, it
you
went
think
Black
Odyssey
Flag,
went?
Odyssey, Origins, or no, Black Flag,
Origins,
Odyssey.
Odyssey.
Yeah, Origins, Odyssey,
Odyssey's the newest one.
and it was Black Flag Syndicate,
right.
Origins,
Yeah.
Odyssey.
Right.
And so
Black
when
Flag
I
is
played
my
Syndicate and I didn't like
you like
it.
Black Flag?
Yes.
I
yeah.
I
played
didn't
it.
like being out in the boat.
Oh,
All
I
like that.
loved the
I was like,
naval
when can I
combat.
kill someone? I
I
didn't
hear
like
you, I
having
hear
to
you,
jump onto the
I
boat
hear you.
to. No, I want to kill. I want to stalk somebody and kill them.
Have you ever seen the?
Damn, Cliff, what you trying to take out?
If
What
you
you trying to let out?
Listen, I'm just saying it's.
Hey,
If you haven't listened
I
to
like
the
not
song,
letting you see me coming. That's why I look
What's that
both
called?
ways when I
That's called-
exit a door.
Cliff's on that premeditated murder. He don't want to come
Right.
in and just shoot
Oh
you.
yeah,
He
No
want to know
trust
doubt.
and
what he's
believe.
going to
No
If
do.
Cliff
no
ever
doubt.
goes down, it's gonna be premeditated. You can believe that.
but I mean, so my thing was the thing that turned me on to Black Flag was the. Y'all ever listen to like the literal trailers? There's this dude named a YouTuber named Tabascus, and
I heard of it.
he sings like trailers to video games. And
No,
and the Black Flag one was like
like he remakes them. Like
he does and sings over
Uh-huh.
like over the instrumentals.
right.
He's
That
like-
might be funny.
It was
That might be
he's
funny.
like-
I might want you to send me a link to that.
I will. I'll send it to you.
I might be interested.
Sober man looks back, tend to turn. Assassins never learn. It's just fucking murder
I
on
don't
top
know.
of murder. It's fucking ridiculous.
I don't know anything. That's the dude that you're talking about.
Tabascus.
Okay, I
yes.
was about to say I don't know anything
Lit-
about
it's-
that.
He does. They're called literal trailers, and he basically like sings through video game trailers. I think he's done it for movies too. Oh
I think I
man,
may know who you're talking about now that you say that.
yeah.
Like it.
Okay.
So are we gonna let's get ready to close out the show. Let's do
Yeah,
our
let's do
let's
that.
jump into our last segment. We're at like 2 hours 5 minutes.
Let's do that.
So let's go ahead and jump in. I already talked on COINTELPRO. I've got one or two other ones, but if anybody else wants to jump in terms of things they don't teach you in school. So kind of just to reset the stage, COINTELPRO was a counterintelligence program run by the FBI, basically targeted social justice leaders across a bunch of different initiatives, whether it was the Puerto Rican independence movement or the Hispanic liberation movement or the indigenous peoples liberation movement or the Black Panther Party. I think most famously they assassinated Fred Hampton, who, if you've had a chance to go and look up the document, like, we need a Fred Hampton movie. I understand we've done one on Malcolm X, we've done one on Martin Luther King. I think in terms of the next great kind of biopic for famous black justice leaders, I think you have to do one on Fred Hampton. And I
Right.
think the problem is I don't know that you have enough information to do it because he was so young.
Right.
He rose
Right.
through the ranks of the Black Panthers at fucking 17. Became a chair of the Chicago chapter by the time he was 19. He was assassinated at 21. And he was on the verge of signing fucking a coalition pact between the Latin Kings and all sorts of different gangs, basically saying like
He was the
Word.
first person. He was the first person, basically, to say, "I can talk to the people.
right,
I I can talk to the
And
people.
if you go back, like the documentaries that I called out last week, and I think you may have talked about one too, Cliff, and I don't think I've looked that one up yet, but if you listen to him speak, I'm sorry, if you can listen to him speak and not get ready to go,
Right.
I don't know if your heart's beating.
Right. Right. No, I agree.
So
I
what do
agree.
you got? You got anything?
Me, mine was just, I just wanted to I wanted to touch on a few inventors.
Okay.
Because I feel like that's one of the major things that is a misconception in this country, is that a lot of times the inventions were done by the blacks and stolen by the masters
Agreed.
and patented by them.
Patented by the whites.
Right. So there's a lot of situations that a lot of people don't know. Number one being George Washington Carver. Peanut butter.
That's probably the one that everybody
Right.
does know,
Who
right?
gives a fuck about peanut butter?
Right.
That wasn't what he was known for. What he was known for is he developed techniques to improve soil in barren land so that poor black farmers who got shit land could still produce crops to be able to make a living. That was the number one thing, and what he did, he used peanuts to do that, which in turn turned into him researching more uses for peanuts, coming to the conclusion of peanut butter. But that was not the most important thing or contribution that he gave to us as a country.
And what I think is interesting there was one of my other ones, which was if you're looking to farm barren land, and this was one, like, I think we've touched on Tulsa, and that's one of mine for tonight. And so I'll go into Tulsa a little bit more, especially with it being Juneteenth and so near the anniversary of the massacre.
Right.
The other one that came up for me was one I hadn't heard of. Like, I had heard of Tulsa before.
Rosewood?
No, Seneca Village.
Where's that?
Seneca Village was a borough in New York.
Oh, no, I didn't know. Oh, no, I did hear about that.
Which was like between
I did hear
80th
about
and
that.
90th Street,
I did hear about
6th
that.
and 7th Avenue, something like that. And it was basically a collection of black landowners in the 1850s. The 1850s,
Oh, yeah, before
the
slavery.
Civil War.
Right. Well, that makes sense, though.
Where basically the land that was there, for those that don't know New York geography, that's Central Park today. And they claimed eminent domain the same way they did against the indigenous people, or Indians, and basically drove them off the land.
Right.
They drove a class of black landowners out before the Civil War in northern states.
Right, because they have experience doing that.
Right.
It's not like they don't have experience.
So the fact that you brought up George Washington Carver in barren land, like, this was farmland. They had established churches, they had established schools, they had established cemeteries, they had established businesses.
Right.
In the 1800s.
Right.
Not fucking 200 years removed from being slaves.
Right. Look at him. Is he outer space now?
He's
you
in
fucking
outer space.
Sci-fi FB.
Now I'm in outer space.
Ah,
I just had to look up. Now
So
wait.
I'm sorry for
I'm
cutting
on
you off.
Mars.
No. You didn't cut me off. You didn't cut me off because I mean I just had a few honorable mentions. That was the number one person I wanted to speak about because everybody says peanut butter. Like what's the contribution of peanut butter? No, listen, and once again, just like the Black Panthers, that wasn't just used by black folks.
Right.
That technique was used by all people who
Right.
own that land.
Right. Absolutely.
That was a contribution for everyone. But people want to say George Washington Carver, peanut butter. Fuck Jiffy. We're talking about real shit that people did. Beyond that, let's go Garrett Morgan Sr.,
Okay, tell me more, because I don't know that name.
the inventor of the traffic light.
Really?
Yeah, so y'all were just riding stop signs and shit like
Yeah, I
that
know
until
myself.
black folks developed the traffic light to let people know, stop, slow down, go ahead.
Okay.
The people that didn't have cars, you know what I mean, invented lights. That's what I'm saying. It's almost like our existence was to benefit the people that had money.
Right.
We didn't have cars, so why are we inventing traffic lights? Why would that? You have to think of what kind of selfless person would invent something that they cannot benefit from.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that he didn't have a car eventually, but still, you know what I mean? Like, you're creating things that you can't even benefit from. But beyond that, let's go Shirley Jackson with the touch-tone telephone. Dr. Shirley Jackson with the touch-tone telephone. These are all inventions where you think of, like, the Alexander Graham Bells and the things like that. And listen, even Latimer with the light bulb.
Right.
A lot of people think Edison, you developed the housing, but the circuitry and all that you didn't do that. But you're the light bulb, you know what I mean?
Right.
You're known for the light bulb. You didn't do anything.
Right.
You created the glass that goes around it.
Right.
But that's why.
But Edison, we already know, was a buster.
Right.
Like, he ganked half his shit from Tesla as well.
Right, and that's what. Yeah, and Nikola Tesla was the true beast.
Right.
Let's be honest. But I just wanted to bring those names up to let people know that a lot of the things that you were taught in schools aren't correct. You know what I mean? Because you won't give the credit to the people.
Because history is written by the victors and those in power.
Correct. So those are that's why I wanted that to be things not taught in school, because I wanted to at least spark the minds of people to look into other things.
I think that makes sense.
We've talked about activists and you know, people that are contributing, but we didn't talk about like inventors and how that specific thing was taken away from the people that made it.
Right.
Yet Jack Daniels. We love Jack Daniels.
Yeah, not all.
Oh,
Not all. You.
we love Jack
FB
Daniels.
loves Jack Daniels.
Yeah, FB loves Angry Orchard. Shut up, outer space.
Hey,
Astronaut.
If it ain't
Rocket
Crown
Man.
Royal,
Rocket
if it ain't.
Man.
Hit that note again. Look, hit that note again. We're gonna put
Rocket
you on the.
Man. Shooting down man in the million now. Whatever,
Not
however
being
that
super
goes.
close with Jason, I don't know. I'm assuming Rocket Man's one of his favorites too.
You like Elton? Who doesn't like Elton? You better stop it, boy. Michaela, get out of here. You ain't no astronaut.
Cuz said, "Get out of here. You ain't no astronaut." I got a Mars
You
background.
just hit your birthday, baby. You ain't old
That's
enough.
it. It's the
Malcolm.
first ever white alien. Breaking news. White alien.
You ain't
First
old
Malcolm.
enough.
shot in America.
I'm next.
Oh,
Malcolm,
What's up,
I
that's
just want you
that
to know
white
that,
blessings.
that image
Take your
is
white
not Mars,
blessings
that's
out of
Earth.
here, Michaela. Half of them at least. You can leave the nigga blessings.
But yes, we do love a good Rocket Man.
Listen,
I haven't
you
seen
know,
that movie. I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't
We
seen
ain't
the
talking
I
about
heard
the
good
movie.
things about it. I did hear good things about the movie, but
The movie is good, but I was not referring to.
I know. Now that I know. That much I do know, sir. That much I do know.
I want Jason to be regular.
Yeah, I fucks with that. That's my guy.
Jason-
Malcolm,
I also-
I could go either way.
Malcolm-
Yeah,
Jason-
Malcolm, get him out here. Let's shoot him out into the atmosphere. Into the ethos.
I'm
With
gonna laugh
his-
next week when Cliff gets replaced by his dad.
Cause he ain't gonna be on the last, sir. Okay.
Hey, well,
He gonna be sleeping.
well, listen.
Right.
At least he has a reason.
Listen,
Yeah.
you right. I'm narco.
'Cause you-
I'm
You
narco,
be
baby.
right.
I'm
You
falling
be
asleep.
you be knocked out.
I'm
Right.
You
falling
be knocked
asleep.
out too.
First
Listen,
of all, Malcolm, let's be serious.
Are you,
you are probably the most likely to replace Cliff at this point.
Are you
Right.
wait, are you downplaying my disability? My narcolepsy?
Oh,
Is
Clifford,
that
he
what
said
we're
he's
on?
downplaying. Look at him.
Jason, how do I cancel him for I'm
Cliff-
just playing.
Cliff gonna
I'm
get a
just
check for it and
playing.
everything. He gonna get a check start rolling in next month.
Listen, you
Narcolepsy.
like to forget that I know where you at, and I haven't drank that much. I can make that drive. So.
Look, welcome. Welcome to the dirty.
I know
I'm
Mike's
with you,
gonna
I'm
welcome
with
me.
you.
The problem
Right.
is you, sir.
Look,
Me and you gonna have a problem. Mike's gonna give me a pallet to sleep on after I whoop your ass.
There's a bed right
Look,
behind the
look,
screen.
we want you to come back, Cliff, but we know,
Listen,
the
I'm
whole
still looking
New
for my
Year's
watch.
fiasco. But yeah, right. We're still looking
I
for it.
passed out. Somebody got me for my watch.
That was like what, like 4 years ago? I think
That
it was like
was
4
my
years ago
fault.
now. It was
wasn't
about
that-
4 years ago now.
Probably
It was before.
three.
It was before Elijah was born, Cuddy. It was before Elijah was born.
Well, it was before
Elijah
I
wasn't
left
even here yet.
Discover.
Right.
I left Discover 2.5 years ago.
Ugh.
3 years
Right.
ago.
Ugh.
Oh
Yeah.
goodness.
Hey,
Ugh.
hey, but they gave Cliff that money though. They about to cash in his 401k.
Who
So
gave who what money?
man,
I
listen.
gave me. You mean I paid myself? Is that what you trying to
Right,
say? Tell people
hey,
that I
you
paid
right.
my own self?
You're right.
Motherfuckers.
Well, they handed the money back over. And tell them we need it with interest.
They gonna charge me 30% just to have my own money. It's my money and I need it. Goddamn now.
Right. I was
JG.
weak when you said that.
Where the fuck
started
is
like,
JG Wentworth? Help me out.
Right.
Because
I
Discover
was weak.
Not only does
1-800 cash
Discover
now.
offer
Right.
credit, they rob you as well. So watch out for that.
They gonna
DFS,
have a
Goodness
lawsuit
gracious.
now.
JD Power.
All right,
Ah.
so we got anything else in terms of things they won't teach in school? Mr. Jordan,
Child
what you
support.
got? Anything? Anything?
Child support. No, for real though. They don't
Hold
teach you
on,
about child support in
Oh,
school. Real
Malcolm's talking
talk.
about
Teach-
child
listen,
support. All
they
right,
don't.
They
let's hear
also
it.
don't
They
teach you
don't.
how to
Listen.
manage money.
Right, personal finances. They don't teach you none of that.
I mean,
They
don't tell- They don't tell you stick your thing and make a baby, and if it don't work, you might have to be paying half your assets.
well,
they
listen,
don't tell
let's
you none
be
of that.
honest. Let's be honest. You know, if you shoot a club up, there's consequences to that.
Absolutely.
Right.
Whether I shoot the club up with an actual gun or my cock, I gotta pay for that.
Why he say it like that? Why he say it like that?
or
Now,
my
listen.
cock, I have
Clip it, no.
to pay.
Not
have to pay
saying
for
that I,
that.
not
either have to
from
pay
you
her or have
specifically,
to
but
pay
that's a shooting I
restitution.
would want to be involved in.
Oh, Lord.
Oh my gosh, Cliff, y'all didn't. Mike,
Hey,
somebody get him. I'm done.
listen, I was
I
about
think
to.
that might be what we have to go out on.
I was about to. I think we should, because I was about to say a very
Hey,
distasteful joke about Orlando.
Cliff,
And
that
I
goes
said,
back
keep
to
it
our
to yourself,
conversation
sir.
the other day.
What?
About if you said if it came down to it, you're doing whatever it takes. He said, grab him by the cock, hit him with a. Remember we talking? I said, hold up. It was like the movie Don't Be a Menace. It's like, yeah. It's like, hold up, wait a minute.
Oh,
He
shit.
said, blah, blah, blah.
You
Like, he
are
said, blah, blah, blah,
fucking
blah, blah,
fool.
blah. Then then Cliff says, I'm grabbing by the cock if I got to. My life's on the line. I'm probably done.
Listen, if it's like we was talking about being lynched.
Right,
Hanging black folk. I said,
right.
listen, if I gotta save myself from getting hung and grab hold of a cock, then that's what I got. I gotta bite. I have to kill.
No doubt.
At that point, it's whatever works.
Do what you gotta do.
Listen, this is life. Self-preservation.
All
Just hope
right.
the slave owner isn't gay, because then he might enjoy it. So he might be grabbing the cock and
Oh
trying to hang
yeah.
I hear you on that.
But Jay,
Am I wrong, Jason?
But Jay, you should ask Malcolm about it. That's what I will say. I won't speak.
Oh,
but Jay, ask
go ahead,
Malcolm
Mike.
about
Do your
it.
thing, Mike.
All right, so thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you all for joining us tonight. We appreciate it.
Oh,
Cliff, you got
shit.
anything to take us out?
Listen, I love y'all. Y'all know I love you. I love you. I love you. My pops, he knows I love him. He'll be back too if he can stay up for it. But I
This
get
coming from the most narcoleptic motherfucker I know.
I
Listen.
did-
Man, that's where he gets it from now.
it. You see,
My fault. I did not know.
Ain't no my fault.
Ah, he said my fault.
Ain't no my fault at all. We enjoyed it. I did at least.
Nah, it's been a good time. And with all that being said, Malcolm, Jason, thank you again for joining us here via Zoom.
Love
here at the end.
everybody.
For
If
sure.
y'all want to
Much
stay
love
on for
to
a
y'all,
minute
man.
after we get the stream turned off, feel free to do so. We'll continue the
Absolutely.
conversation. Mr. Jordan, thank you for
Hey,
joining
man.
us.
I love
It's
you
been
guys.
real. We
I love
appreciate
you guys
it.
coming on because you helped me out. It's my first time. I love the fact that y'all came on. And y'all made it easier for me. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Mr. Jordan, we're gonna link up soon. You a cool dude. Much respect to you,
Listen,
man.
he
For
ain't
real.
shit, Pop. Don't,
Hey, I might start calling you instead of Cliff. I might have made Cliff in my
fuck you, nigga.
And with that,
Fools agree. Fools agree.
Right,
Fools
full
agree.
degree.
we love
Full
all y'all.
degree.
Like, subscribe, all that shit. Twitter, Instagram, coming soon. In the meantime, check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Facebook.
One more
Like,
thing.
subscribe, share. Cliff's got one more thing.
Can we make the world fun again so we have content?
Please,
Yes.
please.
I'm sick
Absolutely.
of talking about bummers.
Yes,
like every
yes,
week
yes.
is another bummer. Can we make the world fun again and have content?
Can we?
Let's bring the
let me
light.
take that one
I will
step.
bring the glitter to the party whenever you need
And
me
I'm
to,
with
bitch.
it, Jay. Make me smile. However you can, I appreciate it. Listen.
Yes.
Listen, next
were you
time I'm
saying,
on here,
sir?
I'll like channel my inner gay goddess and just sit here and do my makeup on camera while you talk.
And bring, hey guys, and tell them to bring Judy the parrot back too.
Listen, I fuck
We
with
need
you.
Bring
Judy
Judy
the parrot
back.
back.
Where is Judy?
Hashtag where's Judy? Hashtag do fools agree.
Episode 22.
We
Where's
love
Judy?
all of y'all. Thank you for joining us tonight. We love you. Peace out.
All right.
Much love.
I gotta pee.
Oh, LOL, Malcolm dipped.
Yeah, he was out quick. Pops
Yeah.
was right. He had some legs to get into. He said, "Let me get into some legs."